everybody? What's going on? It's the Ooh Ladies First Panel. We are back. Listen, if you are a member, if you know me, you know I've been having issues today with this internet girl. So that's what the delay is about. We're going in and out, but hopefully we'll be able to have a great broadcast. We have some topics, girl. We got to get through some things because a lot is going on. The internet is interneting. Okay, so make sure y'all follow us, the Ooh Ladies First Panel. Email us at oohLadiesFirstPanel@gmail.com if you have, if you want to ask OLFP, because we look for advice letters. Y'all want us all in y'all business, let us know. Outside of that, follow us, Ooh Ladies First with 2 O's on Twitter and Instagram. But follow us individually as well. Me, Bondy Blue on everything. Jami ThatsMe on everything. And Necey Dixon on everything. We make it real easy for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, are we ready?
Yep.
Ready, Eddie?
Hi.
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Okay, listen. I just imagine there's noise in the background. Okay.
Come soon. Soon come.
Hi, ladies. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing well.
Doing well. Okay, so now that
Been
y'all
okay.
see, I'm gonna do this so we can, So hey, y'all, what's going on, ladies? Oh my God, it's so much going on today, and we have a cute little show. We do. Is there anything, you guys? Anything that's going on with y'all before we just jump right into it? Because I feel like we could jump right into it.
Yeah, we can jump right
Yeah,
into it.
let's
I
jump
mean, this
in.
week been
Yeah,
wild.
we ain't gonna make y'all wait. We don't know what the internet gonna do. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna do it like we did it last week with a little mix up. So let's start off with some gossip chat.
Oh, Chile.
And them.
Listen, Diddy. Listen, Diddy. You should be so proud of yourself. Okay, can't stop, won't stop. Because if y'all thought that Diddy being 50 something years old and being a relic from the 90s meant that he was supposed to go sit his ass down in his mansion and be a millionaire, oh no. Oh no, girl. He's hopped out. Okay. And he's got a new hairline. He's got some real good coloring going on in the beard and the hair. I mean, I can barely tell. It's fabulous. And now he has a new harem of young women, okay? And recently this week we found out that this young lady with her boobs out to his left, that is Dana or Dana, whatever you want to call, okay? That's Dana. She's having a baby for him. Well, she had a baby for him in October. So love, Sean Combs, is, entered the world. You know,
October.
yeah, they said she had the baby in October, and we're just now finding out about the baby.
Yep.
He wasn't hiding the world. Look, he wasn't hiding the daughter from the world. What Drake say?
I was hiding my baby from the world. I was hiding the world
Behind the
from my.
word from my son. Yes. Come on.
Right.
Ain't that something?
It's bullshit for me. It is funny that all of them look alike. The only one that doesn't look like the rest of them to me is Carisha. And Carisha looked like his mama. So that's good enough for us. Like, it's honestly, if y'all have y'all ever seen Diddy's mom?
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
I have, but I
She
can't
look
remember
like
what
she
she
could be
looked
Lil'
like.
Kim, mama.
Oh, she do.
Which
Yeah.
look him?
Bit.
All
No, for real.
The first Lil' Kim. The first Lil' Kim.
Okay,
right.
I just want to know for sure.
The late 90s Lil' Kim.
First of all, this is my whole thing about this situation. Okay, so look, let me just explain right quick. Diddy,
She
Carisha,
said which one?
because Gina is on the end. Gina was on the internet fighting with Carisha all the way up until yesterday, even though Dana is the one that came out with the new baby. Okay, so I don't know what Gina fighting about, but this how you know Gina is petty and upset that she didn't get the placement in the harem like she wanted to. Okay, now this other young lady all the way to the other side, child, I didn't forgot her name already, but I know they just recently introduced her
Mm-hmm.
because everybody was saying, "Oh my God, Diddy, why are all the girls Asian?" And it seems as if the only black girl you're with has to work for that check. She has to work for that lifestyle because she's promoting your liquor. She's popping on songs with you that she probably wouldn't have popped on if she weren't having sex with you. So I just kind of feel like it looks as if the one black girl is the one that's working for this check. So then we see this other black girl. It's like, oh, okay, so we're trying to balance it out. But to me, I'm looking at the situation. I don't care how everybody thinks Carisha's just having a good time, and I'm like, why do you think that? Like, why? Because he has money.
She's a city girl. She's a city girl.
But city girls don't get played like this. And when I say played, what I mean is a real city girl, you gonna have your niggas too. He gonna have all his fees and all of this that come out that he go on dates with, that's all at the same parties. And you gonna have your little young meat that you go to when he busy with one of the other girls. So to me, I feel like if you a real city girl, then this should have been an equal opportunity situation where you have your nigga on the side, just like he have all of these different women. And that's not the situation. You just kind of are a part of the other women, even though, yes, diversifying the harem. Yes, even though he's making money off Carisha, I just kind of, I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about this situation? Because it's messy to me.
I think that Diddy, number one, is in charge of the girls. And I also think that it makes more sense why Lori Harvey decided to not stay because she's in charge of the guys. So how dare you try to be in charge of me on this type of level? When it comes to Gina just love to poke and peek at Miami. They're both dumb. Miami getting on social media to try and drag this girl talking about some Diddy would have had you over here eating my box if he told you to or whatever. And I said, so you want me to believe that he wouldn't make you do the same thing? Y'all all on the same page. You trying to dog her, but you really exposing yourself, honestly. And a lot of people think she having fun because that's what she said she was doing. But you over here spiraling. The way that you went off on that girl, Miss Gina, who did a TikTok, really said a whole lot. Okay, so I mean, girl, I hate it for you, but if you still happy and that's what you like, then who the hell am I? At the end of the day, Diddy and Miami got a contract. That's all it is. It's a contract.
Absolutely.
I think all the women that Diddy be involved with be under contracts. All of them.
Indeed.
You think so? Because I ain't hear about Gina until Miami came around.
Me either, but maybe
but they
that's
said she been
contract.
around the longest.
That might be part of her contract.
Think about it. Diddy usually like share his stuff like that. The only two main ones that we knew about was Cassie and Kim. And Cassie left and Kim passed away, unfortunately. So I'm sure there were always other women, but those women weren't important enough to be, put on his arm as the arm piece. I think whoever he's actually in a relationship with publicly, that person has to be of financial value to him. All of those other girls, y'all and reap the benefits. So y'all gotta play back. Y'all gotta sit in the back. Y'all gotta deal with whatever. Y'all are not in front. When y'all on live, bitch, be quiet. Get out the way. Don't let nobody see you. Like I think that's the vibe. And Carisha, I think Carisha is good for business. Like you can't tell me that he didn't have his sights set on her just merely out of, first of all, sexual attraction, but also because who cared about Diddy before Diddy got with Young Miami? I'm just saying, like he's a legend. We respect the music and all of that, but nobody was checking for Diddy.
Were they not? Because I feel like people were.
I think they were. And what I don't think they did.
Were they checking for Diddy?
Yeah, they definitely were. Nah, but
Right.
I can also believe he was trying to still maintain his clout because that's what Diddy has done throughout the years, attach himself to people. Joy Chavis, he attached himself to her when he took her on that trip. Lori Harvey, that was like the biggest one and really bigger than Miami before she jumped ship and people was exposed. Oh, they got matching clothes and this and that. And yeah, I think people definitely was caring enough to see who he's, dating. And he continued to come out with different liquor lines and stuff. So, and then before Miami, did he go on BET prior to that and give them $1 million? Wasn't he honored by BET?
No,
like people was definitely checking for Diddy.
No, that happened at the same time. That's what I'm saying. So when I say nobody was checking for him, when I say that, I don't mean that nobody cares about Brother Love. But what I mean is nothing was actually current going on with him in order for him to be in the limelight. He will come out every now and again and tweet something or put something on Instagram, especially since the pandemic. And we saw, him with the receding hairline and the grays growing in over there, this beautiful mansion house. But I feel like even though we were paying attention when he was with Lori and all of that, like that really, that once again, that's just like with the Carisha situation. That's only because that's a girl that we know. And honestly, the only reason that story was so disgusting and we cared that much was because she previously dated his son, and he went on a double date with Steve Harvey and his wife. Like, y'all not the same age, like you know, him and Steve Harvey. So when I say nobody was checking for him, I just mean he wasn't as relevant in that time. Now he got honored. This is where he got honored. This was when Carisha was standing in the audience with her Go Poppy sign. Jamie, like this, that was that.
Oh yeah, that was with the Go Poppy. I still stand by. I think that man was relevant though. I hear
I'm
what
not
y'all
saying.
saying.
I feel like the relevant thing is, I think it's different. Like for me.
For me, I feel like a lot of these, I don't think that Diddy searches for relevance in women. I think that he was a Nick Cannon before Nick Cannon was Nick Cannon, like in terms of having a tribe of women. And just based on the way that Young Miami was like, we go together real bad, tells me that she like self-recruited. I feel like she
And
self-recruited.
Barry.
I feel like they were probably friends. She self-recruited, and it's kind of given very much like she just want to be the bottom bitch. And because she has
Damn.
determined that, I think she does. And I think it's like she told on herself when she said Diddy would make Gina eat her box. So I'm thinking, okay, so you just solidified like that's the dynamic. You got the bottom bitch position that you wanted. But honestly, I think Diddy would still do all of this foolishness without anybody watching because it's a cycle that he's been doing for years with Cassie and everybody else. So I just I hate to know that we'll never actually know what it is because I'm sure Cassie has stories for days about being in that tribe of women. And I think all these women just want the proximity to Diddy and they don't care.
Damn.
I'm gonna
I
just
think
say,
Carisha knew about the baby too.
oh yeah, of course. I think she knew before it came out, but I also think she was still upset by the way social media responded to her about it. Because you can't tell
Yeah.
that she wasn't on the phone with him talking about this nigga academics coming at me. You need to say something. And he normally wouldn't say anything. Like he would ignore shit like this. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's not that I don't feel like Diddy is relevant. I just feel like Carisha, like, you know, shot this shit into the sky. Like if it was another girl, we would not care as much. They are literally on the timeline every day. And I think when he was dating Lori, we didn't even care this much. Like, you know, because nobody knew Lori. We just knew her, you know, we know of her, but like she don't talk. Like I barely heard this bitch speak. I've never even seen her actually have a conversation with anybody. She just always looked pretty in pictures. But
And my
like,
question, somebody gonna get mad at me for simply asking a question, but I gotta ask a question. What was Lauren London's relation to Diddy? Because it used to
Lauren,
be her, Diddy, and Cassie. Did she ever date him too, or it was just purely
when
business? Huh?
when did that happen?
Do you
Lauren
remember?
London?
Yeah, y'all don't remember Lauren London and Cassie? He had some what brand? He
I
had
never
some
heard.
clothing brand, and the three of them used to roll together tight.
Hmm.
And I didn't know if it was just like they worked for Diddy or what. This is like around the me and you time with Cassie. Somebody in the comments, if y'all remember what I'm talking about, let me know. But I remember seeing the three of them together.
Lauren is friends with Diddy. That's why she was around. She wasn't with Diddy.
Sean John. They saying Sean John. I don't think it was Sean John. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I remember somebody said just a model. Right. That's odd to me. What were they? I guess. Whatever. I ain't gonna keep digging, but I just
I mean, I agree with y'all that this harem will be going on, but I'm just saying, like, Diddy is old school. So the fact that everything is so public, I think that's intentional. I think he is doing what he's always done, which is being an energy vampire. I very much liken him to Hugh Hefner. I think that he sucks the life out of young women so he can stay relevant and young and famous. And I think Hugh Hefner did the same thing. I mean, I didn't even know he referred to some of these girls as his angels, Diddy's angels. Like I
Oh,
didn't
baby, I
even,
can't. I can't.
yeah, I
did
heard
you
some
hear
shit
Audrey
about,
O'Day say the same thing about it?
Who?
Audrey O'Day, she just did a podcast interview and she said there's only three men that ever sucked the air out of a room. And she said it was Trump, Hugh Hefner, and Diddy.
Ooh.
you ain't got to tell me. Because I feel like I peeped it, especially like the way the shit happened with Cassie and Kim. I think he had them ladies locked in that fucking house, especially Kim. Like Kim was locked away for a minute, and you would see her on projects that he would do, like executive producer and stuff like that. But when it came to like seeing her out in the world the way we did when she was younger, you really just didn't see her like that. And it was the same thing for Cassie. It was like they just kind of disappeared for a few years before everything started happening. So I don't blame Diddy. These women know what it is. Oh, Tanisha, that's so sad that you have that mindset.
What you said?
Don't blame Diddy. These women know what it is. I feel like
yeah, they know what it is, but I do think that Miami does get more heat than he should, because at the end of the day, he do be having her looking out here looking dumb as hell, and she always has to speak first, and then he follows up behind her. So that right there lets you know it ain't no type of protection, because he would have been checked academics before she said anything. He would have been checked everybody. He lets her be embarrassed for days, weeks at a time, and then he comes out and give a statement.
Yes.
But then probably because she know what it is too. So I mean, yeah.
But just because you know what a situation is, don't mean you know what it is. Like,
oh, that bitch knew though. This girl here, she knew. If you gonna sit up there and tell us about Gina and sit up there and say, "Oh, that man had you eat my box and this and that," no, she knew. But I just think that he needs to speak up for her, because she is, like Necey said, the bottom bitch. Like, you need to speak up before she do. Like, I do think that's messed up. That Santana got to come to the front and address people.
Her and Santana laying in the bed. Somebody said, "I'm gonna tell everybody this was Biggie and Fake." Bitch, I was
good
dead.
Night.
I was dead. Do you hear me? I am still not over that. But I'm gonna just say this about
disrespectful.
So disrespectful. But I would just say this. I'm blaming Diddy because I feel like this is what Diddy does. You know what I'm saying? I think when I say that these women, they know but they don't know, what I mean is they think that, oh, I'm just going to have to deal with him being an asshole every now and again and some other women, and we'll have nice vacations. He'll treat me well. But then to me, when you're a man like him, there's a very mean side to this. So there's a humiliation thing that has to happen. Like, you know, like I think he has to go down to get you to the place where you're really comfortable with this setup, because essentially at some point or another, you're going to be made to feel a way, because he's going to move you out the way for one of the other bitches, whether you that girl, whether you the bottom bitch or not. He's still, like, at the end of the day, she the bottom bitch, but the other girl's still having a baby for him. So
yeah, but Bonnie, you know, city girls don't be wanting to have no baby, so you know.
I don't know. I feel like Carisha might go there though. I do. I feel like next year she might go there.
A check.
She not letting that man go.
Oh no, she real bad. She not coming about him. I feel like she thinks that's her decision, but I think that's the way he's mind fucked her. Like, that's what I think. I think her relationship is a young woman's mistake. That's what I'm gonna say. I think it's a young woman's mistake, because I think an old bitch being around Diddy for 5 minutes would be like, I can't deal with this nigga. Get him away.
Somebody said Carisha wanted twins with him. When? Who said that?
She tweeted that. I think
I have heard that.
Yeah, she tweeted it and said that she ain't really mean that shit. She do stuff like that all the time too. Like, you know, I want to marry him, or I want babies with him, or that's my man. I was just playing, y'all. City Girls up 3,000. Like, it's like, no, girl.
Hilarious.
But you know,
damn, Risha.
I think it's an experience. I think, you know, it's an experience one day that she'll look back on, whether negatively or fondly. But I would like to hope that you can see that long-term relationships with Diddy aren't a good idea for the woman. Like, I don't know.
Especially young women, right? I just kind of feel super bad for them. I know they may want the security of the older guy, but then he really be dry. He really be, to me, like when I think about Cassie, because I feel like Cassie got out at a good time. Like, he really eat up all your young years, like for real. And Cassie just got out at the right time to move on and actually have a family and stuff. So it's like,
that's so crazy though, that she was able, like, it seems like Cassie was with Diddy for so long that it's hard to believe that she's still young enough to get married and have a family. Do you know what I mean? Like, she looked like, now that she's not with him, I feel like she's younger. So I wonder how old she was when he was with her back then. If I really think about it, I feel like
she was under 18, but that's what I think. I could be wrong. I thought she probably 17, 18, tiptoeing on the 8. Because I mean, Cassie came out when she was like 16, wasn't she? When she first came out, she was like a teenager.
We're
Me
talking
and
about
you.
Amelia. That was
Uh,
2007.
so how old was it? Was it 2007? I thought
So he was definitely
that
around her
that
before she
had to
was of
be like
age.
oh six. Was it seven?
Cassie was with Diddy
It
for
might have
10
been
years.
right. So how since she was maybe 20 then?
Mm-hmm.
So they saying she 36 now.
So oh,
But
not
she had been
26.
working with him prior to me and you.
She
Eh,
was a model and all of that. He literally took girl whole 20s. Tragic. She was real young when she was messing with him. That's what everybody in the comments saying. Wow, wow, wow. um,
Mm,
and
this
I'm
is
just saying, based off what I know about men that are like that,
Mhm.
they they love bomb you and they make you feel really really good, and then they treat you like shit in order to get you off kilter. So if you thought you was gonna feel good from all of the love bombing, oh no, bitch, I'm gonna remind you that you ain't nothing but shit on the bottom of my feet. You can't do none of this without me. In 1 minute, and then another minute, oh, we're gonna take this above, we're gonna do whatever. He buck your head up, and then the next minute he knocking you down. Y'all, that one live I saw, I'll never forget that live. He gives immature and all about me energy, and she gives, I just want to make him happy. I just want him to pay attention to me energy. Like, I'm
you talking about
sorry.
Cassie now, right?
No, I'm talking about Carisha. Carisha and Diddy were
Oh.
Mhm.
live one time. And I feel like when he was talking to her, she was really trying to, so what's going on? What you doing over there? And he was like, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like this. No interview. Talk to me regular. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. And I feel like I've been around men or people, period, where you 1 minute everything's cool, and the next minute you like, what the fuck just happened? And it's because they want to make you feel like you need to make something up to them, or you want to try harder to get them to love you or show you that feeling that they were showing you when they was love bombing your ass. So to me, when I look at their relationship, that's what I see. Every time something happens that might be disrespectful online, Carisha says nothing happened, but then we'll see her, oh, I was mad one day, delete that, then it's a whole bunch of flowers in the house the next day. Like, to me, I feel like she may not be telling us, but this relationship gonna age her even more than she already has been.
Mm.
Mm,
But
mm, mm,
Mm-mm.
mm.
good luck, girl. Because everybody wants to act like you having a good time, and we all just tripping and hating. And I just kind of feel like, no, I just been watching Diddy do this shit for years. So I'm just kind of like, no, Carisha, run. He's not a good one. But
Right. You know, a lot of people that say that, I really feel like they're super young. Because I feel
mm,
like their audience are like younger kids, like they had got out of high school or was in
yeah, they
high
don't.
school going to college. I feel like it's them, but they don't know we've been around to see Diddy for like a very long time, like years on years.
And we still
So
think that he be, playing with the boys and use the girls as, just front. I'm gonna show y'all the girls, but there's some niggas back here too. That's what. Listen, I know that from like family
li-
people who I know that have been around people that have been around him, and they say he will slide in the bed with you without you knowing. Okay.
listen,
No.
child, I came across something where they were trying to talk about Kim Porter was supposed to be writing that book. Remember, they were saying that she was gonna expose stuff before she passed. So I
That's
ended up coming across some. I'm gonna send it to y'all. I don't want to say it on here, but girl, it
Right.
goes along. I ain't gonna say it confirms because
Right.
we don't know if it's confirmed, but
oh,
it goes along with what Bondy was saying though.
You know how
I
the
always
powers
have.
that be move.
Say where?
I said, you know how the powers that be move. So I don't want to say it on here.
Child.
I know,
Okay.
right? I won't say this shit publicly. Scotty, stop being a slut in my comments, okay?
What's going to
I'm
say?
gonna
He
send it
could
to you.
definitely, boy, Scotty, goodbye.
They will be a
What
price.
is it? Scotty.
Goodbye.
You better make sure that contract right, like Carisha got.
And make him wear a condom because he fertile. Um. Anyway, okay.
Y'all silly.
Look, he gonna get pregnant in the anus. Shout out the. I'm
Not
sorry. Shout out.
not
Shout,
pregnant.
that's
Pregnant.
always say pregnant in the anus. Okay, because I feel like that's what would happen, child. Now Scotty want to get flued out. I'm done with y'all. Okay, so listen. At the end of the day, I like Carisha. I hope Carisha's happy no matter what. But I just feel like this is just a moment. This is a young girl's mistake to, I think, fall in love with a narcissistic asshole, but she'll figure it out. And I think she eventually will have that epiphany that it's fine for me to go. It's all right, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
we'll,
probably the
In
best situation
about
she done been in though.
8 more years, maybe 5.
I
Whoa,
hope
you
she
said
don't.
8?
Yeah, I was trying to round her out at 10, about the same time frame as
She 28
Cassie.
right now. Bitch, do not.
She not gonna last. I don't think it's
Oh,
gonna be
that's
as long
sad,
as
girl. Don't do
Cassie.
that. Don't waste all that time.
I don't think it's gonna be as long as
Cause
Cassie,
she's
just
too Cassie was
because
private.
yes, Cassie was confined. She was in Diddy's back pocket, whereas Carisha ain't in his back pocket. She just want to be in his back pocket, but she can
Oh,
go when she feel like it. She won't
Exactly.
be,
that is
you
so
know.
true.
I'm so glad you said that, Niecy. Because
And
that's the
it's
thing
sad.
about this situation is I feel like even though, you know, it's a good look, clout and all of that, but she don't need him. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
Mm-mm.
like she could have done any of the things that she's done with him by herself. He needed somebody young and popping so that his new hairline and everything could be received well. Because he got a
Damn.
brand new hairline. Don't play with me. You know that's not the original
Wow.
hairline. Look at that picture. That is not the original headline. Don't play with me. He had a widow's peak out this world. I remember.
Shit. Yeah, if you got the money for it, go do what you gotta do.
But anyway, y'all, that's it for them. All right, so we're switching it up. So I have a little cute something. A lot of y'all know about my Now That We're Grown reviews. Well, I decided to showcase an episode of The Parenthood. I
Yes.
don't know if y'all used to watch The Parenthood. It's actually on HBO Max for y'all to go on and
You
watch it
lying.
if y'all want to. Nope, it
I did
is,
not know
girl.
that.
It's on HBO Max.
Is Different
It
World
is.
still
All
on
of the
there?
seasons. Yes, it is.
I'm glad
Different
they ain't
World,
cut that.
Martin.
Boy, they been over here chopping up
Me
shit.
too. If it
I'm
move
gonna
off
have to
there, they're gonna
watch
move it
it.
somewhere else. Stephanie Ray, thank you for the super chat. I just saw reports that Kim's book is done today. Oh, well, I might have to look into that. Thank you, Stephanie. You know, because if she come out with a book and it says something with members, um, but yes, y'all. So the Parenthood. Let's get into it. So what happened was I actually was watching The Parenthood and this episode came on and I got caught up and it triggered me. The episode triggered me. And so I thought we could discuss it and y'all could tell me what y'all think. So in this Parenthood episode, Jerry, y'all know Jerry is the mother, the lady in the picture. She
Yes.
was graduating from law school and she's doing a speech because her classmates awarded her most inspirational in her class. Her parents come to visit and to attend her graduation. Her mother, played by Nancy Wilson, who is one of my favorite jazz vocalists, is taking jabs at Jerry the entire time she's there. Her house isn't clean enough. She isn't spending enough time with her kids, like making little comments like, oh, you could become a lawyer, because she acting like spending time with your kids and being at home isn't good enough. What's wrong with staying at home and being a mother to your kids and all of that. So like she would keep making like little comments like that towards Jerry throughout the episode. Even coming downstairs and telling Jerry that she wasn't going to leave, and go back home because she was going to stay and help Jerry with the kids because obviously her life is, out of control, making it seem as if Jerry wasn't a good mother to her 4 children. She's been a wife at this point for almost, for 16 years. So it's
Mm.
kind of like I have 4 kids and I've been married for 16 years and you in my house telling me that I don't know what I'm doing because I decided to go to law school. So
Mm.
Jerry choosing her career means, in some respect, her mother felt that she was rejecting her, choosing to be, because her mom wanted to be a singer, like the real Nancy Wilson was a singer, but she was like she wanted to be a singer, but instead she was a housewife. At one moment in the episode, Jerry's dad basically tells Jerry, after Jerry's mama shits on her for like the 10th time this episode, the daddy tell her she needs to be more understanding of her mom because her mom wanted to be a singer when she was younger and she didn't get a chance to do that. So Jerry should be more understanding of her mom throwing all of these jabs at her. So Jerry gives her acceptance speech at the graduation or whatever. And she actually stops her speech that she had been working on, steps off the stage, and basically shares the moment with her mom. And I felt like it was unbalanced. And I think in the 90s, they thought that Jerry being the bigger person looked good. But to me, I didn't like the fact that there was no moment where the mother had to show understanding for Jerry. You mean to her, you feeling a way about her being a lawyer instead of being, continue to just be a house mom or, housewife, whatever. And then she shares this moment that's huge for her. This is an accomplishment for her. And she shares it with her mom. And I just kind of felt like her mom was treating her so badly the entire episode. And then the episode ends with Jerry deciding to look over all of that and still show her mom more love and respect than her mother had shown her that entire time in her house. And it pissed me off. And it stuck with me. So when it came time to put this episode together, I was like, you know what? Let's talk about that. Because I think, something has to be said for the way our mothers' antiquated mindset can fuck up their daughters' aspirations, dreams, confidence, just how they feel about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, after explaining it all, I just would like to hear you guys' point of view. Do you think that it was, a good thing that she shared her award with her mom, or do you feel like mama needed to be checked and then we can share an award? Because I'm like, she didn't even check her. Not one time did Jerry have a, you know what, mama, we need to have a conversation. What you doing? She didn't have none of those moments. It was just, go ahead.
I wish she checked her, but the fact that she shared the accomplishments with her, I'm glad that they kept it like that, because usually that's the way it goes. Kind of similar to what we was talking about a couple of weeks ago, how you was like, it's not 1997 because you're paying with a debit card. You remember all that? Where older people won't really change their ways, so you kind of just gotta. It's like forgiving someone for the apologies you never got, but knowing that you are still moving in a way that's beneficial to you, and knowing that it's going to impact your children, your children's children, if you go ahead and break those generational curses. I just wish she would have said something to her mama about it, but I'm kind of glad that they showed it that way, because a majority of the time that's how it works. Like, think about how many of us grew up never really hearing parents apologize. It's like, you want something to eat? You trying to go to the store? So I think it was realistic.
I think it was realistic for that time frame, and as we get older, like now that we're grown, I think it's problematic. A few things I wanted to say. Number one, the mama was projecting because she was dealing with her own damn resentment, and she was putting that off on her daughter. Like her daughter needed to be better because she was never able to be better. The other thing I wanted to say was that when Jerry gave her mama that award towards the end, I can't remember the episode, but just hearing it kind of makes me think some part of her was seeking a bit of approval. Like, yeah, I know you SHI'd on me or whatever like that, and you said this and that, and you didn't like that I did this, but guess what? At the end of the day, I still accomplished it. So hopefully, you will recognize that. Here's the award and walked off type, whatever. Like, it just still seems like she was seeking some type of approval or something from her mom. The other thing that I did not like, I mean, with that and just everything, was the fact that they love to disguise this thing as respect your elders, but you never hear that your elders have to respect you. And now that we're grown, we too damn woke for that. Personally, to me, a lot of times we like to overlook how we feel and our humanness to appease other people and what they got going on. And I just don't think that's right. And I mean, everybody's different, but girl, my mama already know. If she come over here, girl, it's gonna be oh so many times. Sit it down, Miss Ma'am. We're not gonna do that, okay? So you don't pay this over here, So I can't I'm grown too. I'm somebody elder too, so we on the same level, just a little bit, not completely, because you got more years on me, and I'm gonna give you that. But what you're not gonna do is disrespect me just because you were not able to meet the standard of what you wanted for your own damn life. We're not gonna do that. So that's what the problem. That's the problem for me, girl. Cause mama would have got checked, girl. If you got this many issues about the house, girl, let me tell you, if you go down and make a left, I promise you it's about 4 hotels. Because what you not gonna do is come in this house and try and dictate. Girl, it's not supposed to look like your house. It's mine. You're not supposed to be here forever, girl. It's a limited time only. You here for 2 days.
Stuff around and everything.
No,
Like,
ma'am.
you're supposed to be in the refrigerator. Like, hello. You are you're crossing boundaries. Crossing.
And I be real nice about it though. I let her
Yeah,
move a little this and that. But my mama now she gets to a place where she asks me. Like I like that. Don't
yeah.
do something. No, ask me, can you do that? She's like, you okay with the that's fine. Hey, do you want No, I don't. No, I don't. No, ma'am. No.
Thank
But
thank
yeah,
you.
that's okay. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Like, I mean, you gotta,
Yep.
say it with your chest a little bit sometimes with your parents and just
Now,
elders in general.
I'm glad that Shantia said this because I literally was watching Real with Yanni's video, and that kind of reminded me about the parenthood episode because she did a video talking about that lady that cut her daughter's hair to,
Mm-hmm.
hear more about how you looked in school. So she gets on Instagram
Mm.
live or TikTok, whatever, and cuts the little girl's long hair off on camera. And I thought that it was so
CPS.
messed up.
CPS.
And she kept saying it was a teaching moment. It was a learning lesson. And I was just like, no, it's not. This is a moment for you to embarrass your daughter because you think embarrassing her publicly is going to make her listen to you, but it's not. She's probably going to
When
use
is
this
that
moment
going
later
to be
on
a
to say,
crime?
Thank you, Jamie.
ooh,
That's exactly
When
what I
is
was about
that
to
going
say.
to be a crime? Y'all
I
need
feel
to
like
stop
every
coming
two
on social
years we
media
see it.
embarrassing your damn kids.
mm,
Like that only shows me that you're unstable and unfit as a parent. When is that going to be a crime?
It's
And what
abuse.
mm,
lesson was she teaching? And the little girl was so shocked when her hair was getting
yeah,
clipped the hell out. It's like, are you mad that your hair never was like that when you were a kid? Did you not have long
you know
locks
that's
and
what I
this
was
and that?
thinking.
Like,
I was
why
thinking
do
she was
parents hate
upset.
their children?
I don't know. It's so
That's what it be
weird. You know
giving
why?
sometimes.
Because a lot of them didn't want to have children in the first place, and they have resentment that they had to take care of children that they wish they really never had. Like, to be clear, because everybody want to act like, oh, I love my kids, but that's only because y'all feel like y'all have to. But essentially, a lot of y'all didn't want to be parents, y'all didn't want to have kids, but you had to have them. And so when y'all have these moments where they're being difficult, you do shit that you really shouldn't do to your kid because you resent them.
I want to add to that. It could be what you're saying, Bondy. And then it also could be some people do. I truly believe they do plan on having children, right? But they plan on having those kids with that person, but that person left them. So when they're not with
Mm.
that person, I think that they take a lot of that BS they got going on. Yes, taking it out on the child. So some of it is how what you're saying they're forced, because you got to think about the biblical thing, right? When you get pregnant young, it's like, oh, something gonna happen to you. Whatever the Bible say about having kids, whatever the church folks be talking about. So you feel compelled to give birth to your child at a young age. So you already dealing with that. So that is definitely part of it of what Bondy said. They didn't really want the child, but kind of feeling forced to have the child. But then at the same time, you have those people that wanted to have the kids. They wanted that
I
with
think
those mates, and
I
when it
think
fell
we
apart, they
need
went crazy.
to, or somebody needs to do a deep dive psyche on women who are like 50 plus. Not
Mm.
even 50. Let me say like not even 50. That might be too young. Like 60, 70 plus on this earth, because I think there's a level of resentment that we often talk about. And I always think about the resentment that moms have for their daughter-in-laws, because they want you to carry on with what's good enough because they didn't have the good enough that you have, right? But then there's
Mm-hmm.
also a level of resentment that moms sometimes have towards their daughters for not doing going the same path that they felt like they had to go. And because
Yeah.
that's the only path they know, they feel like that's what's best for you, because it's like, I'm okay and I made it here. This is the only path I know. It sucks, but you got to take it, because they think it's better than the unknown. So I just would love to just dig and think about like what. Let's unpack that. That's part of the generational curse right there. To try to like unpack that psyche. It's like it's all about resentment.
Yeah, and I think some of that resentment is the independence of the younger individuals because the resources are different. Whereas with the older people, they probably stayed with their mates longer because those men provided, or maybe it was limited jobs. Like it's probably a lot of stuff. And now they see that it's not like that as we get older. Women can be more independent. They really can go out and chase their dreams and go after what they want. Some of it could be tied to that.
I agree. I think it can be a lot of different factors for different people. But essentially, I think it's just important to try your best to not traumatize your kids, or to really look at the things in your childhood that made you feel bad. Because sometimes I think we've been taught that because discipline feels bad, it's okay that it happened. But no, sometimes you need to look at that shit, because like the older I get, the more in therapy I am in, the more I realize I grew up feeling like putting my feelings first was the wrong thing to do. Like I really feeling like anything that I wanted to do that they didn't want me to do was the wrong thing to do. And so now that I'm adult, it's like, oh wow, like I really was doing that the whole time and really didn't understand that I was doing that, because I'm being taught that this is what I should do and this is what I should want. But now that I'm older, like I be looking at the situation like y'all really kept telling me I was selfish, and I was supposed to be. Like in a way, like you a teenager. You're not supposed to be thinking about other people more than you think about yourself, because you're a teenager. You're not supposed to be responsible for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, of course, don't be an asshole, but I think that there's a way to express that to your kids without telling them, they're being selfish and all of this type of shit. Because when I tell y'all that was screwed into my head. You're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. So much so that now that I'm an adult, I over check in with other people so that so that I'm not selfish. And then it makes me not care about how I feel more. It makes me care about how the other person, how other people feel more. So,
and then you stuck with the anxious feelings of everything inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tell you, they need to, like, a lot of this has to do with the male and female dynamics. I still believe truly, like, therapy needs to be included in school. They got school counselors, and it's
Right.
like these kids. It starts with the kids, because if the kids who are now adults would have been going through this, I think there needs to be some sort of checking in where you can like acknowledge why you do things the way that you do, and when you realize that it's just out of habit, generational curses. That's when you can start to question why it is that you do the things you do. When it comes to boys, you know, like I don't want to go there when it comes to like the Martells and people like that, men having this weak masculine type energy, and then women who want to be pick me's. Like I don't care who don't want to admit it, but I feel like every girl, because you've grown up trying to do what people told you to do, at some point in time you went through a pick me phase, and I feel like that's why I'm able to count, like call it out so easily. I'm not saying I was a fucking bird, but I definitely
no,
wanted to please other people.
yes.
But I think that needs to be like worked out, required in schools, please.
I think a lot of therapy needs to be required in schools, because then y'all would figure out that these fucking bullies are being bullied at home. Like, nobody want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But a
Right.
lot of shit in school is a direct reflection of what's going on in them children's households. We saw that when the kid and them kids couldn't go nowhere, and you find out all of the, the fucked up people that's at home with these kids when they ain't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to, read this one. OFLP, how do you feel about parents acting like you owe them because they had and raised you? I think it's foolishness. Nobody told you to pop that pussy and get a baby. Like,
Oh wow.
I'm sorry, don't act like you did me a favor because you did what you were supposed to do. Like, I didn't ask to be here.
I feel like parents that say that don't have good relationships with their kids anyway. So they want to make you feel away and make you feel obligated to doing for them. Whereas parents that have great relationships with their kids, they don't say that shit. And their kids, they know their parents don't do that. They just have a good relationship. And some kids that grew up in a nice household have a great relationship with their parents. They want to get them the world. So those parents aren't saying that shit. So a lot of the parents that say that I raised you, you owe me the girl, you already ain't got no good relationship. That's why you feel that way. And if you
Girl,
feel that way as this person being an adult now, I can only imagine how you were when they were younger as a parent. Baby don't owe you shit.
girl, not at all. I constantly tell my son my
Right.
assignment is to raise him to be his own individual. He doesn't owe me his life. Crazy. And I also feel like that's what comes, Jim Jones' mama, Martell's mama. It's a lot of them boy mamas specifically that like to say that I brought you in this where you owe me because I took care of you and I made all did all of that shit at the reunion, making up with Scrappy, and then got her fucking ass on Instagram Live drunk and said that he reaped the benefits of all of that drugs and prostitution that was going on in the house that he complained about, the benefits of that. And I just wanted to jump through the screen and knock her the fuck out. I was just like, girl, shut up. Shut up. If you think that that sacrifice was worth what you gave to his career,
right,
happened in his career either way, because Scrappy was just like, gonna be Scrappy regardless. Like he was living in Atlanta. There's a whole bunch of niggas in Atlanta who mamas didn't do what what you did, and they still made it. So he didn't need you to do that in order for him to make it. You wanted to do that because you probably got some type of high off of being in control in a way that you probably weren't before. She said she was trying to be a nurse, that she had those 2 kids and she was struggling and she got in a car accident, and then all of a sudden you start selling drugs and pussy out of your house. Like, right. I just kind of feel like, yes. But yeah,
that's funny. It's crazy that she would sit up there and tell that boy that he benefited and never ever considered the thought that he was trying to navigate the trauma that he was in. That's stupid. Like, why would you say you benefited from it because he helped your career and this and that? Da, 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 da. No, he probably was gonna be that anyway. Who knows? Like, that could have been a destined for him. You didn't have to introduce none of that into his life, and he probably still was gonna be who he is today. But it's just the fact of her always, she just never seems to care about his feelings a lot. And as much as I like Mama D, she just never takes it into consideration. And I'm sure that's why him and Bambi going through it right now. That just saw they unfollowed each other on social media.
Let me tell you something. I think that he see, because he said it on the show, Bambi is hard. And it's like, no, nigga, you want Bambi to fix what your mama did wrong. And that's not her job. Her job is to parent the children y'all have together, not to reparent you because Mama D fucked it up. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy? Some of Bambi issues were the same issues that Erica had. But once Erica stopped being with her son, then they got a really good relationship. So watch, when Bam stopped being with Scrappy, then she gonna have a good relationship with Mama D. And that's because I feel like Mama D ain't gonna have nobody else to compete with. That's what she wants. She wants some, like, what kind of girl
makes herself an adversary of the women that he's in relationships with, and then does shit like try to get him to be with women who she feel like she got some type of influence over, like that. And that says on season.
That's enough to say she needs her own damn therapy.
And yeah. The first of all, I felt like when I realized that he was raised in a trap house, when he said that, I said, she been doing this, off with his head in a palace shit for years, and that's so she don't have to deal with how she. You didn't give that little boy, you didn't give him or your daughter a real shot in this world with that type of shit. And I think you're embarrassed and you feel shameful about it, especially because you don't live that life now. And if it wasn't for Scrappy, your ass would probably be dead or still in a trap house somewhere looking a hot ass mess. It was because Scrappy consistently, did what he did in order to get where he is. But I also feel like he would also put that energy on Erica, and he put that energy on Bambi. Like they wouldn't be shit if they wasn't on Love and Hip Hop because of him. When really, no, nigga, nobody will care about you if you didn't have these relationships with these women. Because your music is not what got you popping on Love and Hip Hop. Let's just be clear. So yeah, Mama D probably still married to Ernest, but they're not together because Ernest kept.
Oh, they're not together.
Huh?
They not together?
They be together, but then they don't be together because he'll go and stay by his mom.
Got you. Noted.
Religion has something to do with this you owe me mindset. I agree. But I'm going to leave y'all alone. But, as I've been watching Kindred, girl, it just reminds me how much I feel like y'all Christianity is written by the slave masters. But I'm going to leave y'all alone.
What episode?
That's kind of what... I think that Nat Turner movie was about. They it was like, I forgot the man's name, but he what's his name? Nathan.
Because he got canceled for
the interaction with a younger person or something.
raping the girl in college.
Yes. And they
What they
canceled
said.
him. But he starred in that Nat Turner movie, and he kind of was going around like preaching the Bible to the slaves. At least that's what they were saying Nat Turner was technically doing, but pretty much having conversations with the slave owners to like embed in them what the Bible says to get them to obey us type thing. It was like real weird.
Yeah.
Birth of a Nation. Thank you, Nate Turner. I mean Nate Parker. That's him. Yep. Thank y'all.
Okay, that was a reboot because Birth of a Nation is
Yeah, I
like
think
one
it
of the
was.
ever created, and it was a race movie. It was a movie to make, you know, all the stereotypes about black people and white people were basically in that movie as one of the first films put out. I remember because we studied it in film school. But yeah, Birth of a Nation, all of that propaganda about white people being, you know, pure and black people being, you know, basically like creepy, dumb people that, you know, either are stupid to do anything or like the devil trying to get you and all of this type of shit. That's how they propagandize black people, you know, in the original Birth of a Nation. And it was so funny because there were no black people in the movie. All the black people were white people with blackface
I
on.
can't take it. I can't take it.
Wait, what?
I can't take
On
it.
the original movie?
In the original Birth of a Nation, because black people weren't, you know, really allowed in movies at that time, and so all of the people in the movie were white people with blackface on, playing the black people like, you know, oh, I'm so scared and all of that type of shit. It was crazy. It was crazy. So the fact that they redid that, that's crazy. But like, yeah, it's very dark. But when you watch Kindred, and I read Kindred when I was younger, Kindred is so good, y'all. If y'all
I
haven't
want to
been
read it now. I'm on episode 4.
Okay, I think I was on episode 5, but it gets harder to watch when she doesn't go back home. I'm like, I don't know if I can stay here this long because, you know, her being in slavery makes my nerves bad. When she go home, I'm like, oh, all right, she went home. But when this last time she been enslaved, she been out there in, you know, in 1815 or fuck, no, 1815 on, you know, what you call them, Kindred, the time period, 1815.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please go home. Like this last time when she grabbed old boy and they went, I was just like, oh my God. he gonna girl, he gonna get you killed. He too soft. He too soft.
That's
He
what I
gonna
was
get you
thinking
killed.
too.
Yeah. Girl, I forgot because I haven't read the book in so long, but it's really, really good. It's really well done. Y'all should check it out if y'all haven't. But it definitely reminds me, like, because the things that they say, you know, oh, I hate when he was talking about, oh, I hate when the slaves run away. I hate when the slaves run because they really think that they know better. And don't you know, I'm protecting you and keeping you safe and you running off. You know, they think they know what's best for them. And I was just like, you niggas are crazy. Like, you niggas are crazy. Like, just, you know, this attitude towards black people, even when black people were doing everything, like starving them, like he was doing. Like that's probably one of the last episodes I saw was that he was starving everybody on the plantation because somebody had ran away. And you know, it was just like, so you want them to keep working with no food? That doesn't make any sense. Like, child, I'm gonna just say, I'm so glad I was born in this time period because it just screams murder, murder, kill, kill, everybody. Like, cause you know, like, who gonna find out? How many miles of somebody that's gonna find out? Like, all of this, they really had to keep the slaves' minds because they really could have at any point burned down everybody's plantation and just been like, so what y'all gonna do? Because there's more of us than y'all, especially back then in those rural areas. But anyway, y'all check that out if y'all want to. And we gonna move on to some TV talk so that we can, you know, child, try to lighten it up. I don't know why it makes me want to. Okay, listen. Love and Marriage Huntsville, people. It wasn't a lot that happened. But I would first like for us to discuss Tisha and Marcel. Because I feel like Tisha, that man chose y'all date for this shit. He could have chose any other day, but he chose the day that is supposed to be for the two of y'all to bring in Mel. And then when you said that you were not happy with him contacting Mel behind your back and inviting her, knowing you guys weren't cool. I was like, but Tisha, you didn't mind popping up on Mel's vacation without her knowing? First of all, you was real upset and you just left that lady vacation. I thought that was funny, first of all. But then second of all, why would you leave? Like, why would you leave so he can have this moment alone with Mel? So I would have just been sitting there, hi, Mel, girl. All right, I'm just sitting here because I want to hear what he got to say. So I'm just here because this is supposed to be our date night, girl. That's why I'm here, you know? But I think she's so worried about looking stupid in front of Mel that she felt like, let me just get out of here. Let me just hurry up and go. Because I think once Mel said that, first of all, Mel was already looking at Marceau like he was stupid when he explained why she was there. Like, you could have told me this over. I ain't have to come here for this. So I think that if she was there and it had been understood it's supposed to be their date night, it would have made her feel even more jealous of Mel, because I think she knows that Marceau has a little crush on Mel. And I think that Marceau plays into it a lot to piss her off.
I think he does. And I think that she left because he positioned the argument to make her want to leave, low key, to me. Because he not only went out his way to get back cool with Martell, but he want to keep that, like, niceness with Mel. But when he said, "Oh, you're playing your part of the jealous wife," the fact that you would say that on TV, and you know that that's what everybody is saying, because I know he be in the blogs, just like she be in the blogs. The fact that you would use that against your wife and know that people were going to run with it, to me, it was like you wanted her to leave. You wanted her to leave, and you wanted to piss her off. But I think he proved a point. She was kind of coming off as the jealous wife. Not, I wouldn't even say jealous. I would say insecure. She was coming off as insecure. It was not surprising, but yeah, I think Marcel is smart enough to manipulate her and to want to leave. So that's why he tried to pull that flex on her on TV.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I do feel Tisha on her being notified ahead of time, like just let that lady know what was going on. So it did make me wonder, like, Marcel, were you trying to produce a scene or something like that? Like, what were you doing with this? And then you turn around and call this lady a jealous wife after you already see that she upset about it. It's yeah. I think he probably enjoys pissing this lady the hell off.
And notice how she started trying to cuss him out. I ain't never seen Tisha cuss Marcel out on TV.
Ever.
Never. Never. So I know that pulled a trigger for her, that he tried to flex on her on TV and call
Mm-hmm.
her the jealous wife, because
Mm-hmm.
she was like, okay. In her mind, she had to combat what the rumors were and what everybody says, which is that Marcel basically run her. So that's why she started trying to disrespect him back on TV. And I just thought that was such an ugly interaction, because you could tell that he likes to manipulate her into thinking that she's the only one that cares about what's going on in the blogs. But he cares too. And he likes to use to
Exactly.
play with her.
Exactly. I actually like Tisha checking him. I just felt like wrong timing. Like, when they say right message, wrong person. And I'm like, yeah, right attitude, wrong timing. Like, and then what I didn't like was Tisha talking about this was like when he brought up Martell, he was like, she said, oh, well, that was business. This is personal. I'm like, how is it personal when it's for business? Like, y'all have to work together on this show. And obviously the things that are happening outside of the show is impacting y'all on the show where y'all make money. Like, that's not making sense. You just wanted to feel a way about something. But I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it wasn't that deep, but
It wasn't. I'm gonna tell you the part that caught me. At the very end, when he left and then he came back in, and she was like, "It's fine, it's fine, it's fine." Like, that moment, I was like, I could look in her face and tell this not gonna last forever, like he think it is, because I could see her emotionally detaching, and I think that they've been on a downward spiral ever since that picture came out. Remember the
mm,
picture? And then she went and
whoa.
and cried, and he was like, it's not like that. Things have changed between them ever since then, and I feel like it's because that was the time that he couldn't explain it away, and Tisha was like, no, especially because right after that Atlanta trip, the information about that trip came out, which was that he was in Atlanta and Tisha did not know he was in Atlanta, which is crazy to me, for your husband to be in a whole other state and you don't even know. Like, I'm just saying. So and then when you put other things with it, I think that Marceau is doing things all on his own that is making Tisha feel like you making a fool out of me. I just think that if comfortable for her to blame everybody else. Like, she's still online talking about Mel, it's always coming for her. And I'm just like, girl, when? When is Mel coming for you? Tell us. And then she gonna tell us that, when the blog puts stuff out. And I'm just kind of like, really? When was
But
the
see,
last?
that's interesting because Mel has, I would say, right. I I want to say issues, right?
Yes.
But Mel doesn't fool with a lot of y'all. So
Hello.
anybody could really be getting hit with that bullet, and you just made the decision to assume that she was talking about you.
Mm,
And that shows me how much you watch her page.
okay.
How much you think about her?
That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
I
Do
think
you
she's
think?
personally. But I've heard this. They think that Mel is original straight no chaser. I don't believe that. I think she might,
No.
but that's not her.
What?
That girl showed a picture of herself the other day. Like, that is not that woman.
Oh, she
That
did.
Yeah. And
outside
she
of that,
probably did it because
voiceover.
people were saying that.
But she
Hmm.
do voiceover videos. You could tell that that's not her. And if Mel is
Facts.
Mel feeding the blogs information, anything that Mel has fed the blogs, I feel like Marceau has doubled down on whatever Mel has said. So, for instance, the major thing was when Mel said that he was cheating with the hairstylist that was Martell's cousin. Now,
Yeah.
if that wasn't true, I wouldn't have heard nothing else about that, I feel like. But because it was true, Marceau decided he was going to bring that girl on live with his wife to say that it wasn't true. And that was when I felt like it was true. When I saw the hairstylist, Marceau and Tisha on live together, I said, oh yeah, y'all fucking. Because in real life, nobody would involve themselves in that shit just to appease the public. In real
Mm-hmm.
life, that hairstylist would have been like, Charlie, them people don't get the fuck out of my face. I ain't coming on live to talk about that shit. I'm not fucking, I don't need
Right.
to
And
tell you I'm
as
fucking
a
somebody.
wife, what you need to make a statement for like that? Like usually, whenever you think about throughout all the times that there's been a scandal, you usually just see the husband and the wife address it only. You don't see the husband and wife in the room or person address it. So the fact that y'all did that is giving
Mm-hmm.
Marceau had that lady come on.
Uh-huh.
Well, I have to say, y'all, like, let's be honest, for real, for real. We have seen it. We have seen it, but it was confirmed when it happened. August
Who?
Alsina, Jada, and Will, when they came out to the front to address it, not together, but when
That's the
August
point.
Alsina alluded to that, what happened? We got Jada's point, and she pretty much confirmed it. Then we got Will. So we
But then
have seen
August,
it, but it was actually confirmed. So that's why we would
August,
correlate the two as the same.
but August came out with a whole album. He the one that wanted that out.
He
Right.
did.
He wanted that out.
He did.
Was it the hairstylist that was like, oh, I need to clear my name? No, because if that was the case, she would have got on the live by her fucking self and said that. But to get
Right.
on live with them was to prove to Tisha that nothing was
Right.
going on.
And she lied. I don't believe it. I'm looking at Will and Jada them, and I feel like at this point anything is possible. So for y'all three to hop up there,
Yep.
it's giving.
He said, what about Kirk, Rashida, and Jasmine? Y'all so stupid.
Man.
Tisha just
Ah,
said, I'm not leaving my husband no matter what, and we will all move on. You know what though?
Right.
I don't think she will ever say that because she's being emotionally abused in that relationship. And if she says that, he's going to do it even more so. I
I
think
don't
she
think
needs
so. I
what?
think that I don't think she's ever going to say it because she's worried about what the public is going to say.
mm, yeah.
She don't
I
think
don't
she
think
gonna
it's
say
going to change. What do you say, Bonnie?
she could just give us a I'ma stick beside him. Everybody, give us a I'ma stick beside him. She
I
could have
think
gave
she
us that.
did. I think she did. When she walked in there talking about some team wife on her shirt.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, with her actions, but I feel like if she were to ever say it out loud, she would be putting her clown mask on, like herself.
Mm,
I feel like all this time we've been handing her the clown mask, and like if she all out said it, she would be putting it on herself.
She would be admitting
Um,
hmm
she was lying this whole time,
Oh,
knowing
that
that.
would be
yeah,
tough to admit
Yeah, and
or
I think that's
acknowledge.
probably why she never wants to. She always likes to put it on Mel because then you don't have to admit that you actually do know what your husband be doing, which makes you look even dumber because you out here telling us that that's not what's happening. If she would have came out from the beginning and been like, "I know Marceau ain't shit, but I ain't leaving him," then that would have killed it. Nobody would have anything else to say. They've been like, he ain't shit, but she's staying with him, so whatever. But the fact that she argues that I've never had to deal with fidelity myself, it's like, girl, what? That was that nigga back. I don't care what you're talking about. What else happened in the episode? Mel check Martell and Chris. Girl, for Chris to come on and let y'all look, Chris was like, listen, because my wife is asking me questions. I have to let everyone know I was not involved in any cheatation with Marcel. Okay. Um, Chris had to come and tell y'all that it wasn't him. He wasn't involved. He was only with Marcel for a couple of hours. What y'all thought about that? I thought it was funny.
I
I feel like it's
enjoyed Chris
delayed.
exposing him.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
I just wish he would expose him sooner because I remember when he was in the car. I remember when he told Tisha I was there with Chris. I was like, "Oh, Chris probably at home." Like, huh? Who said that? Who said that? So yeah, I'm glad he was exposed, but I wonder what questions arose from that. Probably none when it came to Tisha and Marcel.
I wonder. I thought it was interesting for Martell to say that social media is trying to create this narrative about Marceau cheating. I said, baby, don't start with social media because, in
Yeah.
all honesty, you created that narrative
Okay.
seasons
20,
ago. And Chris
20.
seems to be confirming that narrative. How you listen to everything Chris just told you, saying that they weren't together that long, and you sit up here and try and put it on social media. Now, I don't know why you trying to. I don't know what kind of conversations or friendship y'all got now that you just don't want to
It,
keep it a buck.
it feels like everybody got something on each other. That's what it gives. It gives we don't forget. I still remember when we did this together, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts, facts.
it's
That's
giving that.
exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I mean, they told on themselves when they was throwing balls and they was cool 2 seconds later. And then they try to put it on me and fight and they cut women down. No, no, y'all got shit on each other.
For real. That's the only reason y'all are able to quickly get over these little spats that y'all get into. But we know y'all don't really see it for each other because y'all always being passive aggressive, throwing slugs at each other, especially Martell. And then lastly, we know that Kimmy announced to everybody about her cancer, and it was really, really sad, of course. Like,
Yeah.
all of us are sad, but we are happy that
Hmm.
Kimmy has finished her chemo. So she just got two more parts of this left, I believe, radiation, and I guess the recovery after the fact.
Hmm.
But we
That's
praying for
awesome.
her overall, health and comfort during this time,
Yes.
you know, and we hope that, Maurice isn't being too much of an asshole. Okay. Because I'm sure he helps, you know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
also think you're an asshole. So at some point or another, it's going to show. Um, did you see how thirsty everybody was to talk about Sheree? I thought it was funny.
I thought that was too. Like afterwards when I saw it
What?
posted, I said, really? We want to
Right.
see Sheree. Like,
Tisha?
Sheree.
And hold on, I can't remember
I
if it was the
guess.
last episode. I think it was this episode where they
Mhm.
were like, "Did you notice how Tisha tried to set Mel up and was like, Mel, are you coming to Martell's event?" And Martell was
Yeah.
like, "But are you coming? Are you coming?" I was like, "This is exactly why y'all get cussed the fuck out because both of y'all sitting there trying to get messy." And then for next week, they talking about Tisha and Marceau. They on pins and needles to talk about Sheree. That Marceau is saying, how does Mel feel about the level up? I said, what? Level up.
Oh, wow. 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 Not
Y'all
when
didn't.
Mel got her finances and stuff more in order than the other woman. Only thing she has, like, it's no disrespect, but girl, is the attachment to Real Housewives of Atlanta.
The
And
only
Tisha, why is you asking this lady questions when you just was upset that she was even coming to your
real
damn what you call
Yes.
it, and you just said that y'all not friends like that? Don't ask me no damn questions then.
And, and they did that when she showed up. Oh, nah, I can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm
that's
telling
why
you,
I'm
I couldn't
like
do it.
Tisha. Because I don't care what nobody say, bitch. You're jealous of Mel, you're mad, you're a hater, and you're always trying to make it seem like Mel regrets leaving that cheating ass husband of hers.
Mm.
And she don't. You want her so badly to regret leaving. This that Mel and Martell, we know. Because you want them to be back together so she can be miserable like you. Okay?
Let me
Yeah,
ask y'all a question for next week, though.
Yeah.
Uh, y'all know Mel was talking about Martell telling her medical information.
yeah.
Do y'all feel like number one, do y'all feel like she reaching? Number two, do y'all think that she is extra animated about the COVID thing because people are finding out about him and Sheree dating?
No,
No, I think it has everything to do with Ariana. Like, I don't fuck with her, so don't tell her my stuff. I think that's what it probably.
Especially because of the way she
ultimately.
posted about it. Like, she posted about it to be like, yeah, and he's still fucking me. That's why I know that you got COVID, because he's still fucking me.
She did
That's
do that.
so
She do that every time.
And it's like,
She
girl,
always alludes to that.
you excited. You're still you're still the side chick. You're still the side. You're still on the side. Sad. There's no main. Because you can't listen. They said that Sheree and him broke up. I don't know if that's true or not. But we already knew
The contract ended.
Well, the contract ended. Yes, Necey is getting to the end of the year.
When we see each other, the contract ended.
Girl, yes, we about to wrap up.
Sheree isn't
Y'all
enough
know.
resource.
They going on a 2-week break. How people go, and then they come on for work. They go on a 2-week break, so they decide to go and cut the contract now because they finna be on 2-week break. Then they finna get back to business on dating somebody else in January. Contract over.
Y'all know they filming for Real Housewives. What did you say, Bondy?
The heifer said double sick as a discount code. Yeah, Martell, don't tell that bitch.
She did. You right. But y'all know they filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. And I wonder if the contract was like contingent upon Martell being a part of the storyline. And I wonder if they so far into the season and he hasn't been on that they like, okay, the contract is void.
I don't know. I wonder if he gonna be on there more. Cause notice ever since Sonya's little party or whatever for her husband when Martell went to it, not a lot has really been leaking out like they used to leak out about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm wondering if he's gonna be on more episodes or what's really happening.
I think the girls probably read him as too tough because when they said Kenya got in that ass, I was just, oh yeah, Martell ain't gonna be able to stay over there in Real Housewives of Atlanta too much longer. There aren't enough for him to play games with in order to, get himself back on track. Because if you notice, every time Martell does something that pisses Mel or Kimmy off, one of the men, or Tisha, one of the men come in and, vouch for him. That's not gonna happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I feel like, it's a possibility that they say Kenya and Candy deaded that. Child, I love to see it. Because first
he
of
had
all,
to be real disrespectful.
Baby, listen.
If Candy said something, he had to be disrespectful.
Girl, and y'all know he loves telling women to hush, baby. Ooh.
Listen. And Sweetie. Sweetie, too. Marcel called Tisha Sweetie. And it took me back to the earlier seasons when Tisha said to Martell, I'm not your sweetie. Y'all remember that?
I do remember that. They were sitting at a table or something. I'm not your sweetie. Okay. Yep. I remember that.
Yeah.
Child, a mess.
It is. With that being said, we'll go ahead and move on. You guys make sure that you like the video and show us some love because we're giving you a great show tonight. Aren't we?
Yep.
We had to let it play out because I was over here juking hard. Okay. All right, you guys, Real Housewives Potomac. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's so problematic every week. It stresses me out. It's worse than a Tyler Perry show. Oh my God. Wow. So your nerves don't be bad. Oh my God. Okay. Giselle and Robin talking about Wendy. And let's just go ahead and get into that whole situation because I feel like Robin is talking to Wendy as if Wendy is putting on for, the cameras or for the crowd, the other people.
Putting on for the group not being around.
Yes. But I feel like, no, Robin, that's you.
Yes.
You different depending on if Giselle is there or not.
Correct.
If Giselle is there, then you can't be cool with a bitch. But if Giselle is not there, then all of a sudden you're open to Wendy's apology and hugging her and all of that shit. And then the next day you're gonna act like, I'm just confused. Like, where did that come from? I was just kind of like, Robin, we really know you don't really have anything going on right now. The only thing you have is this fake shit with wine. We know y'all are not married. It doesn't even matter to us. So I feel like her picking fights with Wendy and Candace and Karen probably eventually are the only things keeping her relevant on the show this season. Because I think every season they come back like, why is Robin still here? Why is Robin still here?
Yeah.
And last season they thought that wedding shit was going to happen. And that's why they brought her back. Remember, because it was like remember they had the engagement party that one time and all this shit. People
Yep.
thought that was going to happen. But now we see that is not going to happen. Necey is something.
I think it's her headphones.
Okay. I was just saying, because I thought I was tripping, but I keep hearing it. But yeah, okay, headphones. Girl, it's always an audio issue. StreamYard. Listen, whenever we get the Ecamm situation together, it'll probably be a better situation. Because they said they heard me and I was more clear on Ecamm. And I was like, I feel like when I watch Jami on Ecamm, it'd be clearer too. I don't know what that's about. Stream
I
y'all.
don't know.
But yeah, what y'all think about the whole
Robin's whack. Robin's a whack. Robin is working hard for that check, though. I have to be honest. I think Robin is definitely trying to secure that check. Her and Juan check. I just don't like how she switches up, and we've seen her do that at least twice this season so far. She just called. First, she was team Chris when it came down to Giselle. Then she flipped and says that Candace is being dramatic. Girl, how would you be if somebody was up there putting that stuff on one? Like, you literally sat up there when it was the reunion and said, I'm so glad Juan Dixon is not here. And ain't nobody even really say nothing about you or say too much about Juan.
Nowhere. Everybody was like, wait, who's talking to her?
Right. And you was ready with that energy. So how dare you say this woman is being dramatic? No, that was being dramatic. In addition, why are you sitting up here talking to Giselle being fake when you also was over here hugging Wendy back, smiling back with Wendy, but then you're trying to downplay it in front of Giselle, and I don't like that. I don't think that's a healthy friendship. If you can't say how you genuinely feel about someone else out of fear of how your best friend or whatever is going to respond. And I hate to say it, I think, people are talking about normalize that that's your issue with that person. That ain't got to do with me. For real, for real. Like, that's cool. Y'all would be sitting up here trying to keep an allegiance to your best friend the whole time best friend was the enemy. Yikes. And now you sitting up here looking stupid because you ain't got no friends because you over here trying to fight her battles. It's a girl, go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
That's ridiculous. Get her out of here. Necey?
I think it's her audio.
Technicals, okay.
I mean, or her. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Matt. Child, how old is Matt? What does Matt do? Never mind. Karen.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I had to disconnect, reconnect. Yeah, I think that Loki, I think Robin is more unlikable this season than Giselle. Just because she's doing the most. But I also feel like she played herself by trying to play Wendy to Giselle, because it's like you still feel the need to explain why you're being nice to somebody. So yeah, that whole shit is ugly to me. But I don't want to give too much because I kind of want to give when I speak about Wendy and Candace. They truly disappointed me this episode.
Apologies. Oh my God. Just so many fucking apologies. Stop with the apologies. Karen copying everybody. Yo, Karen,
I did not mean to do that.
Like, all she do is copy everybody. But I think she's a TV. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna enjoy Karen this season. Now, I did not like, her going along with the crew and forcing Wendy to apologize or whatever the fuck. Like, whatever was going on between Mia and
Absolutely.
Wendy. I didn't like the way Karen handled that 100%. But at the same time, the way she's handling herself this season, period, has been hilarious to me. And I think based on the preview, it's going to get even more hilarious. When she was like, why is this season like this? I was just like, oh, Karen, you're so funny this season. When she was walking down them stairs with Ray, it was like, let me take this mic off because it's going to be good. I was like, oh, wow, Karen, someone's found
That's
their
going to be juicy.
It is. I'm excited. And I think she's gonna be like, you know how when shit be messy, there's always one person that you just get a lot of like laughs out of. I think she's gonna be that person for us this season. So I'm looking forward to her with that. But she stay copying people. Like, why are you copying Giselle and Robin with this live school situation?
I want to see her copy that joint chiropractic companies, considering the fact that Mia ain't got it no more.
Ooh,
Maybe that'll be easier.
Oh, she
Um,
don't.
Girl, according to that post she put up on her page, no. Gordon's family members have booted them out.
they have been.
Oh,
Now
I
maybe
didn't
she
know his
still
family
gets a
members were involved.
coin from some of the ones they have, like the ones that she said they get royalties off of.
Yeah,
Maybe they still get that, but she was booted from her position.
yes.
Maybe she'll clarify at the reunion, but I don't know. Camille lie.
You know, are you
So she
She
like to
lied real
insinuate
bad.
stuff, but she
She
didn't
lied real
insinuate that.
bad.
That was clear that she got booted, and then start arguing in the comments with one of Gordon's family members. I think it was his niece or something, but they was going back and forth, and I was here for it.
child
Um, I
messy?
do have to say, Karen is another one who has disappointed me this season. I go up for Grand Dame. I feel like her individual personality embodies Grand Dame, and she is
Hmm.
in charge of the girls, but she doesn't use her influence for good. And I think that she needs to realize the power that she has on this show. Um, she too many times does the, my name Bennett, I ain't in it, and it's like I wish you didn't. Like because the girls like Candace and Wendy,
Hmm.
they need somebody to debunk the ongoing way of the show. The ongoing way of the show is that Giselle is the puppet master. Robin, stirs shit up. Ashley stirs shit up. But still, at the end of the day, no matter how bad Giselle will talk about your family, talk about your husband, talk about your kids, not invite your kids to shit, they still want to be liked by her. And I think if Karen stood up sometimes and let Wendy and Candace know that, like, hey, I'm rocking with you, that would help. That would help. So I just want her to use her influence for good. That's
I
all.
hope she does. I hope she does.
The read for Robin that's coming this season looks really interesting to me.
Hmm.
Are you gonna talk about Wine's girlfriend? Child, that fake ass marriage. Oh, I can't wait, Karen. I'm looking forward to you this season, girl. Especially because I feel like whatever they think they have on her, Ray already know. That at the beginning of the season when she had that conversation with him about at the nail shop about him knowing about her eye candy and all of that. To me, that was the conversation that should let everybody know if you think you about to blue eye me again, you're not. Okay? Ray
And
knows.
guess who's in the middle of catching that tea? Is she always catches everyone's tea? Miss Ashley Darby.
Oh,
Child. If Ashley don't do nothing, Ashley gonna be in the mess.
she did. I already said that she's literally one of the best housewives of all time, and I don't care what nobody say about it. I don't like her, like not for real, but I still feel like she gives in her personal
She
life.
does.
She's messy as fuck, and she isn't afraid to give you a gratifying moment. I don't get any gratifying moments from Giselle or Robin or Mia, really.
Mm.
Sometimes she'll give you a little gratifying moment, like that moment where she called Sharice out on that little trip.
Hmm. Who
That
that?
was
Mia?
Yeah, that was she was like, cause you were like, I can't stay in this room. Like that shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie. When she started imitating Sharice.
Got you. Got you.
So she'll they won't do the same thing we expect them to do. Where I feel like Robin and Giselle, I mean, yeah, they always do exactly what we expect for them to do. You know what I'm saying? I think we all expected them to do exactly what they're doing this season as it pertains to Candace, as it pertains to Wendy. This is on code. So I
I
feel
didn't
like
expect them to do it.
It's
I did.
Robin for me. I think she's the person that I didn't expect the most. Ashley is often predictable, but I do think she gives us every bit of her life from beginning to end.
She
But yeah,
You
and
know
it's
what?
interesting.
Now that I think about the series of events that led up to this, the reason why I didn't think Candace and Wendy were gonna fall in line this season is because I've seen them kind of like co-team the shadiness on social media and on interviews. So I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna get them as a team. But I think what fucked it all up was that the first person who folded was Candace. Oh, you're the only one of the entire group. And as soon as she singled that out and said that it was really only Robin and not Wendy, I think that's when Wendy decided that it was best for her to just get along with the get along because she didn't have that ally in Candace anymore. So
I think
yeah,
she
now that I
got
think
it
about
though.
it,
I hate that she thinks that. If she does, I think she has the alliance in Candace because Candace was definitely fighting for her to come back with the ladies because she felt like she was done wrong. But I did not like that comment of saying that she only looks at Robin like she's a sister. And I'm like, why
yeah,
is that? When you have shown on the show that you seem to be more closer to Wendy than Robin will even allow you to be. So
allow
I
you.
I didn't
That's
like
the part right
I
there.
mean I don't know, girl. Maybe because she known her longer than Wendy, girl. I don't know, but
It's probably some of that, but I don't understand. I'm gonna tell you what I really think happened. I think Candace and Robin got close when the whole Monique thing happened. I think that
uh,
Candace actually really thought that they were her friends when they picked her side over Monique's. And she really formed relationships with them, but you can only get so close to, Giselle with her mean ass. Robin, on the other hand, is somewhat of a people pleaser if she is around another stronger personality. If she's around a weaker personality, she'll be a little strong. But if she's around a strong personality, she can like turn into somebody totally different, if you ask me. Um, and I just
And
kind of feel, go ahead.
Candace is only champion that like we didn't see Candace and Robin get close like that, and I feel like they never got close like that. Candace is like inflating this relationship because she is so disappointed in Karen. So I think she is thinking that
mm,
Robin is grand in comparison to what she expected Karen to do for her. So
She's
that's
disappointed.
why she's saying this.
She's disappointed. I
mm,
was about to say that's what I was about Giselle. I think that because when she cried about the whole Giselle thing, she
ain't
really,
none of my friends.
really doing this to me. Like I really do think that Candace thought if she stayed
She
in the
did.
lines that they weren't
Yeah.
going to do her like that. Because remember, they don't
Yep.
think the colorism thing is actually happening. And I think it's so funny whenever we have this conversation because I'm like, if y'all pay attention, like it's absolutely happening. It's just the people that it's happening to, they just don't think that it's happening to them.
Mm,
Yeah, and they don't want to call it. See, yeah, I think that you're right. You are right. I don't think that they think that it's happening to them. But I think that even if, hold on, now that I think about this some more, Wendy absolutely knows it's happening because Wendy has gone against it. You remember when they called her aggressive on that boat? And
yep.
whatever we with this season in the winery, whatever, Robin said, I'm not a thug. Wendy sees it. But I think that Wendy is afraid to call it. Candace, she might, I don't think Candace sees it, but Wendy sees it and she don't want to call it.
Candace
Hold
don't
on,
see
she don't want to call what though?
She don't want to call it colorism.
They already have.
Wendy?
You Yeah, they've already spoken about that. Wendy has done like little interviews. They've already done it last year. That's why I think Giselle and what's that lady name? Robin are coming at them so hard
What's that lady
because
name?
they
that
have kind of talked about, you know what I'm saying? Because they talked about
Okay.
it. I think that they coming after them because of that.
So
I
Because
I
had
they're
say this.
introducing the colorism to their show, and then it's making everybody feel uncomfortable and stuff. So I feel like that's why they keeping their foot on her neck, and Slick wanted her off the show.
oh, that's a
Okay.
good point.
Thank you for that. Has Candace said anything about it?
I think
Yeah.
Candace is the one that I've heard say that it's not happening at one point.
Mm,
Maybe she changed her mind, but I feel like at one point I absolutely felt like she didn't feel like it was colorism.
child, she probably felt that last in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
By the
and she,
end of the season, I think that tune had changed.
okay, because that's what I was wondering. Because I feel like maybe it was at the end of last season when we were all talking about it. I feel like that's when I thought they were like denying it, and I was just like, yeah, I remember when I told Monique, Monique said the same thing. She don't think it's colorism. I'm like, well, you just because you can't see it don't mean it's not there. Like
Two L's. No, no. Only Robin is. Candace's mom is one, but Candace isn't. She's not one.
Who
what?
else? Which time out?
She asked if she was a Delta. Robin's a Delta, but
Oh.
Candace isn't. Her mom is.
And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like on some level, Candace, I think at first didn't believe the colorism was happening to her because she's elitist. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
like that's what I mean. You know what
And
I'm saying?
she thought she was just good with the light. She thought she was in
Yeah.
with Giselle and Robin. Girl,
She thought it was
no.
about it. She thought it was about rubbing elbows with politicians and knowing how to carry yourself and having money. Like that's what Candace thought was going to get her in because Monique came from a rough background, like childhood and shit. She didn't always have money, from what I understand. So I think that Candace along the way has sometimes made herself believe that this is a breeding, like because I came up in a better household type of situation, my viewpoint is somewhat different, even though people have treated her a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So I think, as she gets older, she'll be more honest with herself about what's really truly happening. But she's learning because we was telling her when
No,
this shit
she
happened.
not.
You don't think
You
she
don't
learning?
think Candace is
No,
learning?
no, I don't. I don't think because she last season we've
Right.
been telling this girl, they is not your friend, and
And
then
Rob,
it sounds just like Portia talking to Nene. It's so hard without you,
I
and
thought
you
the
over here
same
crying on this
thing.
girl talking about some. You're like a sister to me, and I'm like Candace, they don't like you, girl. They don't like you, ma'am. It's the
and
No,
same
they don't.
situation, so I don't know.
at least
I
Nene and
don't know
Portia
if she
was
learning.
really friends though.
Stand up.
You know
Stand
what I'm saying?
up.
Like I feel like for Portia and Nene, even though the shit was over dramatized, I think level Portia meant that shit because they still like this. Like every time they have a little get together or something like that, if anybody is there, bitch, it's gonna be Portia gonna be down.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
that,
true.
Bondy. I can't take it because Portia was the same one sending out text messages to everybody to ice out Nene. Remember? She was sending those
She was?
messages. She didn't want nobody filming with Nene. That
When
last season, Nene did. She
Wait,
sent
why
out
didn't
texts.
she?
I could have sworn Candy, please. I could have sworn Candy exposed her in the on
yeah,
the reunion or something
Nene
like
not
that.
gonna
It's
care
like, girl,
about
you was fake as hell.
Nene not gonna care
I
about
can
that.
see that.
She
That
not.
add
I
up.
mean, now she not. I think
So
they
I
went a
mean,
long time not talking.
I think she sees Portia. So I think from Nene's standpoint, Portia is always somebody she can use or she can, knock on when she wants to because Portia might be, like a mean girl on some shit, but she will acquiesce to the stronger personality. She always did. I think Nene always knew if she stepped to Portia, Portia was gonna get in line. Well, girl, so she'll do shit behind her back, but in her face, she gonna be, nice and cool about it. So on some level, I think Nene can see Portia, so she handle her accordingly. But what I mean is, I feel like Portia really does want to be friends with Nene, regardless to what she says and does. When she did
Yeah.
that shit, probably because she felt rejected by Nene in some aspect. Remember, she was
Mm-hmm.
mad because Portia moved close to her, and Portia thought they was big sister, little sister, and then Nene started acting funny when she moved in the same neighborhood as her. So I feel
I
like
don't
their
want to.
relationship was probably one that just went back and forth because they're two fucked up individuals, but they probably care about each other. Because,
I feel like Nene always looked down on Portia, to be
yeah,
Yeah.
honest. But
Mm-hmm.
now that Portia
down on
got
everybody.
a Guabadia and they got an African man in common, I
Say it.
feel
The
like that's
African.
why she coming back around. Like, oh girl, you living good. Girl,
Yeah,
you got a job out
I
on. Let's
love
be
it over
friends.
here. I love it
right?
over here.
It's real cute over here,
Stay
girl.
hanging out.
Coming to the wedding with
Right.
the areolas out, bitch. Areolas out. I hated it. But I'm glad that y'all
Hilarious.
that because that brings me to fucking Candace and Robin.
Mm.
So let me say this. Robin crying about her hairdresser's family's death was you may have actually had some emotion, but you put 20 on 10 for this show, and so you wouldn't have to be held accountable for what you did to Candace. Because if you're really
Ooh.
trying to make it right with Candace, you're gonna have to admit that you could have came to her as a real friend and talked to her instead of pulling that shit out in front of everybody trying to embarrass her on the Bluetooth speaker like you did. You was trying to hurt her. And if you was really her friend, you could have talked to her. So her crying and acting like she all distraught over the hairdresser's family, I was just like, Robin, that was cute, but I'm not feeling it. Cry to somebody else.
That was
It
too
was a
much.
terrible scene because they never really cleared up nothing. They never got to the point as to why she did what she did. Like nothing. Yeah, I think that was a good point that Bondi made. Like she definitely used that moment to escape responsibility, and it's sad because I'm like, damn girl, what did y'all even talk about? What was the point of linking up? Because nothing was really addressed. Oh, then but she did say this. She told her next time she does a video and she talking about them, be specific. No
Yeah.
bitch. If you see Candace as your good friend, then how about you give her a call? How
Mm-hmm.
about or you assume or you just know that she not talking about you? Why she got to be specific? If y'all so good, like if I would have read, I probably she ain't talking about me. I know we good. She might be talking about somebody else. I know she talking about Giselle.
Well, I told you
Maybe
what I thought
Ashley,
the
but she
beef
ain't talking about
was.
me. Well,
I I wish they would have had a real conversation, just like y'all said, because the real beef was that Robin wanted Candace to jump on side with her and Giselle to her, Giselle and Mia to treat Wendy wrong. So when Candace came in that house on some, no, I'm not fucking with what y'all doing, Robin was embarrassed and she felt rejected by the mean girl tactic. So that's why she wanted beef with her in Miami. I'm like, y'all should have just said that. I wish that Candace would have noticed that that's what it was. She wanted to
yeah.
be for her, even when she said anybody who takes chasers after shots are bitches. You took
And she
that to heart,
didn't do anything to you. Like, girl, what are you
right?
talking about? It
Just
was
wanted to have a
You took
problem.
that to heart because you wanted to argue. And then when it comes to like the show people, rest in peace to that lady family. Pray for her healing.
sure.
But y'all should have done a much better job of showing us the connection that Robin had with this lady, besides just showing a 2-second clip of,
One
oh, do you
clip.
want a little bit trimmed off the front?
Oh,
What?
good night, BLT.
And then the
That,
way Robin hair be looking, I look, let me tell y'all. Can I tell
say it
y'all?
again.
Can I tell y'all? Okay. So
Yeah, come
like
on.
when I used to work at the news station, one of the gay homeboys told us about one of his good Judies that worked upstairs. She was always a bitch to everybody. And she had this really like stiff ass red hair. And I remember being like, why is this white lady's hair so damn stiff? And then come to find out that she enjoyed golden showers to the point that one
Ooh.
time she came to work and hadn't completely washed it all out of her hair.
Mm.
So I think of that lady often when I see Robin with this red hair because it gives I haven't washed the pee all the way out of my hair yet. Yeah, that poor lady to even be like called Robin's hairdresser. Just sad, unfortunately. And that was my story time.
That is,
Mm.
oh my gosh. I can't.
I have no words for that.
No.
Um,
If roller rap.
I think that lady may do a good job with the hair and Son Robin how she maintains it.
That's
Was
the
it just me?
point.
But whatever, we couldn't even see the hairdresser's face in the clips for long. So whenever they showed the hairdresser and we saw the back of her hair, I was like, that makes sense
Not a
why her hair
spirit.
looked like that. You've been having a white lady do your hair for 16 years. Low key is what I was thinking. But then once they showed her face, I was like, oh, she not white. She black. But they should just
Oh,
added a better. They should have added a better clip.
White too, because
yeah.
I was a black lady is doing Robin's hair. And then
Yes,
they showed us a black lady, and I was like, Robin hasn't been getting her hair done by this black lady since she had that short haircut, probably. And
I
it
was
made
gonna
me
say
feel like, Robin, if you really get your hair done by that lady all the time, you've been on this fucking show for 7 seasons, and you mean to tell me you only got one clip of you getting your hair done by this lady? All these reunion shows where you done been talking to Andy getting your hair done, and they couldn't pull out none of those?
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Just
wow.
it's giving
Right.
it's given you don't even really like you're not even really cool with that lady like that, but you want to use what happened with her to get you off from having to, be held accountable because you never like to be held accountable.
Damn.
That's how I'm coming around. But you know what, whatever. So did y'all notice that even though Mia be out here slurping on everybody's clitoris, Karen was the only one that showed up to her little business opening.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yep.
telling. I didn't even see Jacqueline there. Maybe she was busy. Who knows? Maybe she
She
was
was
working.
there.
Oh, she was there. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
She was next to the
Yeah,
crowd.
she was a.
She's an assistant,
Her.
so I don't know. I don't be knowing between her and the people that work there. I don't know. Ashley, yo, I'm tired of Uncle Lump Lump because
Really are.
I feel like he's being very cold towards Ashley for another reason. I feel like he is low key offended that Ashley probably he feels Ashley looks down on the family because she went and was in a relationship with Michael. And Michael probably is racist and elitist and has said disrespectful shit. And Ashley has probably made excuses for him over the years. So Uncle Lump has probably been resentful of Ashley for even being with Michael in the first place. But now to see her crying over this man after all the public embarrassment, I think Uncle Lump is even more aggravated behind it. Keep telling her, because
Yeah.
her and got into it in front of kids, and she comes over there to the, Uncle Lump house crying, and the aunt is telling her she's strong and she has their support. And he says she needs to believe in what she has outside of Michael. And when he says she needs to believe, and then when he says she needs to go talk to somebody, all of that shit seemed very passive aggressive and dismissive. Because I was like, y'all, anybody going through a divorce is going to respond exactly how Ashley is responding. You're going to have moments of feeling like I can't do this by myself. You're going to be scared. You're going to miss them. You're going to want to fuck them. You're going to hate them. Y'all going to fight. Like, you're going to have all of the, like, the way Ashley has been going through all of this with Michael, it's very realistic to the way a lot of people's relationships break down when they're going through separation and divorce. At first, everybody's cool. Then when shit starts to set in, things get a little bit more shaky. And you don't know how you really feel until they letting you know, well, I'm not going to be helping you in any way possible. You're probably talking to her with that terrible ass white accent and stuff. So when she was crying, I felt bad for Ashley. And everybody was like, I feel bad for her. But I was like, shit, I don't know why.
They didn't feel bad for her?
Some people was like, they didn't feel, well, I don't think her uncle felt bad for her. It was given like, stop all that fucking crying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Like, I think because the uncle never respected the relationship in the first place. I think the uncle is just kind of shot like, well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Because I told you was a trophy wife. Like what? I think he just thinks it was a couple bad decisions that went too far. So, I mean, I didn't mind the conversation with Uncle Lum. I think that Uncle Lump and the Auntie Monica provide a good balance. Auntie Monica will let her cry, but Uncle Lump will also come to her with a realness like, girl, that was the wrong road for you. But Monica will say, we'll get through it. So I thought it was a good scene. I did feel bad for Ashley just like you did.
Yeah, I think it was a good scene. I felt bad for Ashley because I do think Ashley is a good mom and she just being hard on herself though. But when it comes to Uncle Lump is frustrated and tired of Ashley because he feels like she's giving yet another excuse to kind of stay in this situation stuck with Michael. And I think he was kind of fed up. Like, you just came to my house not too long ago and talking about you about to get a house, but it's gonna be in the LLC with both of y'all names. Like, you not looking out for yourself at all. Like, I think he just tired of hearing it. Like, girl, come to me when the divorce papers have been signed or filled out or whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. I mean, you may still have a point. I'm just like, that man probably tired of it. Like, stop coming over here complaining to us and you ain't making no move.
He's absolutely tired, but I just feel like at certain times it's like, damn, she can't cry about it. Like, it's a divorce. Like, bitch can't cry. Like, he was just kind of, I feel like he wanted to tell a man up. Man up, bitch. Let's see what else. Giselle in that terrible Sweet 16 situation. And the reason why I call it terrible is because normally when people have a separate room for their friends, separate from the party for their kids, is because they planned on having something to actually happen for us to report back to the show about. And if y'all notice, we saw everybody show up, and then we saw her go in a room with her and the husband, the ex-husband and the kids, and then she never went back in that room with her friends again, really. Now, it reminded me of Kenya. You remember when Kenya had the party for Brooklyn, and Brooklyn and the kids was in another room, and we had a whole little sit-down scene at her table, and it was actually like a really good scene. I feel like that's what they thought was going to happen, but Giselle doesn't give anything. So there was nothing to like really show from them all sitting at the table together.
Yeah.
I bet it was. They just didn't add it.
Ooh, that's a good point.
It reminds me of, remember whenever Andy was saying to Monique, but we didn't air it in the show. Something about the way that the cameras pan to show us the women who we did not know kind of gave me that Giselle curated that table to bring people on the show, like they always do, to plot. And they all looked like women who would be like housewives worthy. Like, they was looking good, especially one that was sitting next to Robin.
Yeah.
So I bet they had conversations that were worthy, but it probably was something with the conversation where Bravo didn't feel right editing it in. And I bet it was about Karen.
Giselle, though. I think that says a lot about the fact that if it's not her being in confrontation, she doesn't give anything. Like, she doesn't give anything. But you know what was very weird about that scene, y'all? And it was the one thing that I was like, what the fuck? The way Cal hugged Jamal. I said, what is this? Like he hugged him, put his head on this man's shoulder completely, like hugged him with both arms. And Jamal was only slightly holding him with one arm. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of, I don't know, but the hug was just like, oh, oh, it's so good. You know, I just like, what the fuck was that? I
I
watched it
don't know
twice.
what the hell that was.
But the way, like, a whole, you know, you're a grown man. I don't care that you're gay. You're a grown man, and you put your whole head on this nigga's shoulder when you hugged him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
Like,
made
most
me think,
hug,
does Giselle talk about him a lot or something? Like, I don't know what that was.
it,
Or either he's been around them for years and he just like enjoyed seeing him. Like, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck? You like, you hugging him like you want to take the man with you. What's going on?
He
that is,
hugged him to me like he was saying hello to a troublemaker.
Mm.
to me, it looked like he was hugging somebody he wants to fuck. Like, that's what it felt like to me. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Oh,
Lord.
oh, miss you. It's been a long time. Oh, like, like, oh, 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 like that's what it was giving. Now, I'm not saying Jamal liked him back because it wasn't giving that at all. That's what made it weird. Jamal kind of like, I feel like stiff armed him, and he was overly affectionate. So I definitely was looking at Cal like, what's going on here, Cal? Are you so excited because Giselle is gonna get some dick later on? Or are you excited because you got a little crush on that man? It's okay. Zaddy or Zaddy. I don't know. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know there had been whispers about Jamal for years, child. That's what they said. The really telling part was Giselle said about her daughters being everything she wasn't. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah, when she said she wished she was as confident. I was like, really, Green Eyes, you weren't confident?
Mm.
I'm gonna tell y'all, you know, and I hate to speculate about things like this, but it's something that made me feel like somebody did something to Giselle growing up. Like, I think her feeling about being in a room with Chris, I think that was like a real feeling for her. I just think she blew it out of proportion for the show. But I think the initial feeling of walking into her dressing room and seeing that nobody was there and feeling nervous or anxious, I think that was an absolute real feeling for her.
Mm.
But I just think once she realized she felt that way, it was like, oh, I can make this a storyline too. Because she, you know, I think Robin said she expressed it to her that same night, which made me feel like, yeah, that probably was a real feeling for you if you thought to express that to Robin that night. You know,
Mm.
even if this hadn't turned into a thing exactly yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a real feeling, but I don't think it had anything to do with Chris or any man. I think it's had to do with the way that people view her. They might people maybe she grew up with people viewing her as like promiscuous, or they try to like dim her light, like, just what I mean. And I think that that is why she was tripping about being in the room with him, because I don't think he did anything to make her feel uncomfortable. I think she was just nervous that she was going to come off as you know somebody who was a husband stealer.
Mm.
The only reason I say that is because I feel like sometimes when women have like a fear like that, it's because something really did happen. And then I also think about the way Giselle looks and her saying she wasn't confident at a young age. It makes me feel like if you weren't confident at a young age, it may have been because something happened for you not to feel confident. Because being light skinned with light eyes, growing up in the fucking 80s or the 70s in Louisiana or subsequent areas, yeah, girl, you had confidence about your looks. And if you have confidence about your looks, like that's half the battle as far as I'm concerned when you're growing up. You know what I'm saying? And then when we see how she was, in college and, sorority and rubbing elbows with politicians and all of that, like it just doesn't give outward insecurity. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, like when people be fucked up like Giselle, I sometimes wonder about, what things they can be holding deep down under in order for them to be fucked up like they are in the first place.
Right.
Not saying anything, but just, that's I think that would have been a real anxiety to have in that moment. That's all. We don't know that lady life. Exactly. And that's why I'm just kind of like wondering. And I wish that she would sometimes speak more about her life, how she grew up, just be a little bit more open so we can see her clearly. But I don't think she wants to be vulnerable. And that would make her more likable. It would probably make her a real, queen of the show because they call her that, but she's not really that. Like, She's not. She just has a minion. And because she has a minion and mean girl mentality, she's able to be in charge of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
But Candace's graduation party, child. All the ladies except for Giselle and Mia were invited. Wendy came in screaming 2 degrees, which I loved. Candace thought she might have been pregnant that episode, but found out that she was not, in fact, pregnant.
Mm.
I also worry about the way Candace talks about her relationship with her mom, because sometimes I feel like Candace is resigned to just receive the abuse. And I don't really like how that feels sometimes, because I think her mom has been really mean to her. And I think her mom being so intelligent and so smart and being a psychologist, but still not wanting to take any real accountability for how she's harmed Candace or Chris,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel less open to her if I were Candace. So sometimes when I see them together, I just kind of be like, I don't know if Candace will fully mature until she really sees her mom. And even though she sees her, there's a part of me that feels like you don't really see her yet. Like, I don't know why I feel like that. I guess because I'm having my own situation where you think you see a situation, like you understand it. But it's not until you really start to understand people as you get older and these, you know what I'm saying? I feel like your mind is just expanding when you start to get
Mm-hmm.
I
just
agree
really,
with you 100%.
so like it's something about Candace in this moment with the way she responds to the girls, and then also the way she's like, I just let the things my mom says roll off my back. And I was just like, no, like you shouldn't just let it roll off your back. I think she should be accountable and actually verbalize apologies to you, because she's professional in her business and knows how to do it in that form. So
Mm-hmm.
not give that same respect to your daughter. And I feel like Candace will continue to have these relationships with people like Robin and Giselle until she really deals with how she feels about her mom. And I don't think she really has.
I think with Candace, I mean, just sometimes it's a lot of people. I think that's a part of her process, right? I think her process is to let it roll off her back until she can't let it roll no more. So at first, she probably gave, some feedback, and it just always put her talking back, always put them in a bad place. So now she's probably like, okay, moving forward, I'm gonna handle it like this. And then I think she's gonna find her way to handle it like this and then handle it like that. So hopefully she gets to that place. But as far as seeing her mom, I don't think she's gonna see her mama until she has her own child, and she sees how delicate she is with her daughter or son and how she does parenting. Then I think that's probably when she really gonna see her mom. But a lot of their relationship just came from her mama doing a lot for her, and her mom, I don't know if she put them in a position where it's like, y'all will always need me, or if she was putting them in a position of, I did this and that for you, so don't talk back. It's kind of similar to you owe me, but not that they owe her, but it's like, don't talk back, or what I say goes type thing, because I'm paying for this and I'm paying for that. It's kind of really the same thing. And I just feel like Candace just hasn't risen to the occasion yet to be able to have that type of conversation with her mom, because she knows it always leads them to a place of like arguing or something where she don't talk to her and stuff. So I think she probably, and a lot of other people still probably trying to figure out how to navigate that. You know what I'm saying? But when they fed up, they will.
She said, somebody said she's used to these mean girl relationships because of her mom, and approaches Robin and Giselle that way. That is a good point. I feel like that's exactly what she does, because you have all of this grace for people that treat you like shit because you used to being treated like shit. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm used to this, so this don't hurt that much to me. So I can constantly be more forgiving of people because I've had to be forgiving of my mom for doing some of the same shit to me, talking to me crazy and embarrassing me in front of people and all of those types of things. And I do agree, somebody, said about the distance and the time, like her giving, kind of loving her mom from afar. Her mom just came in to visit, but there's still something about their interactions that I feel like Candace is still repressing a lot of things, and I just kind of feel
Yeah.
like even if
You
her
could
mom,
especially tell when they was in the car and she was asking her if she was gonna stop saying the F word.
yes, like, girl, what? I'm grown as fuck. I can't curse. Like, you think me having a kid gonna stop me from cursing? Like, that's such a weird judgment, because it's like, so you can say things on national television to embarrass me and hit me with your purse, but I can't say the F word. Like, Come on now. Like, it's just crazy how you think that becoming a mom is supposed to make somebody do something that you want them to do, but you don't even act right as their mother all the time. But besides that, you guys, Wendy. Robin was asked by Karen about that wedding. She deflects. She probably was looking for Wendy at that moment because she didn't want to talk about that shit because that shit not happening. But ultimately, the way Wendy came over and apologized for the second time, and then Robin was like, I already apologized. Well, bitch, if you already apologized, then so did Wendy. Why the fuck you confused on what Wendy said, but we not supposed to be confused over your old flip-flopping, if Giselle around, we cool looking ass. Y'all do it. I'm
Um, Robin just fake. That's the short answer. She fake.
I was disgusted in this scene. I was disgusted. Just because I'm like, Wendy, it's just like not even just the apology portion. It's the fact that we continuously see Robin play you when you're not around behind the scenes, and then we see this like over exaggerated glee come from her, from Wendy. And it's like it's so funny because you can even tell in the scenes that Robin being dry as fuck. When they was in the club, Robin was laughing, but she didn't embrace her. When they was in the backyard cookout, she didn't embrace Wendy the same way Wendy embraced her. So it's kind of just like, girl, stand up. I'm tired of it. I can't. Robin gone Robin, but Wendy, like I would never give nobody the room to play me. Not the way that Robin did.
The reason why she need to stop damn apologizing to this lady that don't even fuck with her like that. Like, first of all, the woman showed her hand. So I don't know why you desperately apologizing. Once she showed you how she moved, she go, that's her. That's what it is. Like, you don't need nothing from Robin. Like, she want to be like that. Let her be salty on her own. It is what it is.
And with that, is there anything else we would like to say besides, Robin and I'm sorry, Wendy and Candace, stand up. We would really like for you guys to just go ahead and stand up. Appreciate it. All right. So let's go ahead and move on because that's the end of TV talk. And we're going to go ahead and ask y'all to like the video before we get into the last of the gossip. Did y'all like the video? Because I can't tell. But anyway, y'all like I did this little graphic?
Bonnie, you should have did one thing different with this graphic.
What?
You should have made Tory about 2 inches small.
I know.
On this graphic.
I need him holding her hand to look right.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that detail.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was like, is that her hand?
She's holding the security guard's hand, but I sit like this because that's what was going on in that trial.
You killed it. You killed the graphic. You killed it. I didn't even see that.
Y'all, I am completely floored by this case. I actually did a members only live today where I read through Megan Kuniff's Twitter, and also there's another site, I forgot the name of it, but they were doing transcripts during the court case as well. And it's very crazy to me that I feel like Kelsey was paid off. I'm sorry. Kelsey got up there and pled the fifth and got a whole deal and still would not give information. I don't recall. I don't remember. She remembers everything about, Meg being jealous of about Tory and all of this shit, but she can't remember, why she didn't see Meg get shot. I didn't hear the dance bitch part. I only heard the gunshots. They asked her, okay, so why did you text the security guard that Meg shot Tory? Oh, that's what I assumed. Girl, what are you talking about? If it wasn't him, who was it then? Give me the alternative, because his alternative is that you shot her. And then today, the biggest thing that we find out is that Kelsey is engaged to and pregnant for one of the executives for the company, The music company. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
The
1501.
label.
1501. 1501. Thank you. I was trying to find the actual tweet with all of the stuff on it because I thought I had saved it, but I think I might have saved it on my Instagram. Give me a moment, child, because I'm gonna find
I
it.
had no clue. That's one detail of the case that I had not heard. I did not know she was pregnant.
I didn't know that came out today. That came out today.
Wow. I guess she
Let's
said she's gonna have to secure the bag one or two ways.
She was pregnant when the incident went down.
no, I think she's pregnant now.
Oh wow, where that
I'm about,
came from? Who said that?
girl, I'm about to show you right now. I'm about to
Wow.
hold up. Let me take this picture off. Okay, so here it is. So it says, so she's married to a 1501 executive. Her contempt for Meg is becoming clearer. A lot of, I can't pronounce Tory Lane's lawyer's name, but that's Tory Lane's lawyer. Questions were about Kelsey's recorded interview with prosecutors in September. It was mentioned in Todd's questioning that Kelsey's husband attended the meeting with her to support her. That's when, allegedly the whole bribe thing took place. But yeah, it seems that this is the guy, and she is married and pregnant by him currently. That's what they say.
I
There's a
don't know if she. I don't know. I ain't know that.
hold. I'm trying to because there's
That's
another
crazy.
one. Uh, there was another post about it, and I'm just trying to see what happened to it because I think that one might have been on Twitter. I thought I saved it. Kelsey texted about it after having held her shop. That was my assumption. Girl, you sound crazy as hell. If you didn't know what happened, why wouldn't you just say Meg was shot? Why did you say Tory shot Meg?
She knew what the fuck went down. Put her
Exactly.
ass under the jail.
That's how I feel. But she's trying to make it seem like the prosecutors were pressuring her to say what she said in September, which was that Tory Lanez punched her, hit her, threatened to shoot her, okay, as well as shooting Megan. And so I feel like that's how she probably got that gun residue on her from when he assaulted her, because that's what they were saying, and the prosecution was saying. I'm trying
In the
to,
comments, they're saying she had the baby already.
okay, so she
Yeah, she has a son. He's almost one if he not one already.
okay, so apparently that's the baby daddy.
Look at
Girl,
the
Yep.
judge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if there was another one. I don't like this guy who's covering the is that the same guy?
Yeah,
The
he's
one
a
that's
cloud
doing
chaser.
stuff, the one that was talking about, she was a strong black woman. She wasn't being a strong black woman, like whatever the fuck. I was just like, I don't even like when white people say shit like that. Like, don't say nothing strong black woman, please.
Hell no.
Don't say
Academics coverage is cringe as fuck too, though. He is pro Tory. It is. Oh my gosh, his coverage is
Evident.
disgusting.
it's very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
This judge also said he would allow prosecutors to bring in text Kelsey sent Megan the night of the shooting that read, "Should I get a scan at urgent care? My chest is hurting, my left side, back, and neck hurt. But that's from the fighting and him dragging me out the car by my hair."
Wow. Wow. It's like y'all let this Liberty man do this to y'all. Come on now.
I'm telling you, it wasn't until this shit came out about her being with this dude that it all made sense to me. Because
She going
I
to
mean,
jail.
I think they're gonna eventually get her on perjury because I think she
Yeah.
perjured herself on
Oh,
the
she did that shit all day yesterday.
oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
her ass is
But it seemed like they
going.
were trying to give her a chance today, from what I heard. They asked her, like, do you understand your immunity deal? Like, do you understand that you can perjure yourself up here? And that's when she needed to speak to her attorney. And then she comes back and says she understands. And then I think she could have answered some questions, but she still showed a bit of hesitance. And I just feel like that's fucked up though, Kelsey. Like, some part of me understand you not wanting to give Meg a leg to stand on because you don't like how she did you and y'all not fucking with each other. So if you ain't fucking with somebody, I do understand you. Like, I'm not gonna go on the stand and make your ass look good, bitch. I don't fuck with you. But at the same time, it's making you look dumb as hell. It's making you look so bad. Like, I really hate this so much because we've been stressed out, girl, over this case for 2 years. And then you bring your ass up here, you've been doing all that talking about we gonna find the details out, girl. We not finding out We finding out you looking like a fool. We finding out that prosecutors finna put this shit on you. And guess what is so amazing about it? The fact that you finna lay this shit up right on into their hands. And they are the basket. Okay. And your ass is the player with the ball. And you finna lay it right on up over there into their hands because they're gonna turn around and say that your ass was the one that shot this gun. And
Yep.
it's like you're just looking stupid. So it's crazy because it's like, is she defending Tory? Or is she not trying to defend Megan? And I don't
I
even
think it's the
know if it's
second.
either of those. I just feel like she's trying to look out for her damn self, and you're gonna turn around and fuck yourself in the
Yeah.
end. Like it's not making no damn sense. Like I'm confused. I am confusion.
Let me read
I
to
think
y'all.
she's so I think she's so hell bent on trying to get back at Megan that, like you said, she gonna end up fucking herself. And she gonna learn the lesson. She gonna learn a hard lesson.
Child, she got that immunity, but she better hope they don't come back and try and charge her with something else.
Okay,
And
so
mm-hmm.
last couple of hours, I'm looking at, the Twitter and all of that, just seeing what's been going on in the last couple of hours of the case. And basically, they brought up Tory Lanez Instagram. I said that he has said that Kelsey didn't shoot Meg. And so they actually pulled up the shade room, and it was still there where they posted about Meg getting shot. And somebody said, people saying Kelsey shot her. And Tory Lanez said, not true. That's not true.
Oh,
So
so you know what it's making me think now? I'm finna tell y'all tell I know y'all finna eat me up, girl. Eat me up.
Come on.
So I'm wondering if a tussle happened with the gun between Kelsey and Tory, because Kelsey, all she was doing in that car, Stockholm syndrome, girl. Your girl just sat up here and played you, and you still over here defending your homegirl against Tory. But anyway, do what you want to do. I feel like, I mean, maybe he grabbed the gun. Kelsey probably was trying to, like, fight him or wrestle with him or whatever. And two things happened. Either one, he could have fired and she was right there next to him, which also doesn't which also makes Megan a liar when she said that she left and he shot at her and said, dance, bitch, dance, and he was standing over the truck. Well, then if he was standing over the truck, then how the hell was Kelsey right next to him? Because she got that gunpowder on her too. Not sure how that works out, but that's how it comes out to me. But anyway, either they were tussling over the gun because Kelsey's trying to protect Megan, and a fire went off and she got residue on her, or the gun dropped or something is what I'm thinking, and some shots went off.
I'm going to tell you why that's not true.
Which
And
part?
I'm going to tell you why I don't think they were fighting over the gun. Because it was 5 shots. Nobody's fighting over a gun.
It was 5.
Consecutive shots. Maybe 1 or 2 you fight. And then as soon as the gun go off, somebody go. But for 5 shots, nah. I think he was shooting at her. And it's either a possibility that Kelsey was next to him or Kelsey was still in the car. Because that original pulled her out of the car. So
because I think they said Megan was in the front seat. No, or was she in the front seat? I thought she was in the front seat after her foot got shot.
I can't remember after she got shot, because I know that after she got shot, they got back in the car because she was scared of the police because there's all this blood in the car. But either way, yeah, this case is not complicated. And to me, I feel like people who think that Tory's lawyers have done a good job creating reasonable doubt, I don't think they have. Just simply because it doesn't make sense for Kelsey to basically say that she didn't see Tory do it, and then Tory say that she did it, and then she took a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that makes sense. So I feel like that has to come out, and that has to not make sense to this jury. Like, I don't care what nobody's talking about. All of these social media people, y'all gonna say what y'all want to say anyway, because y'all want to believe whatever y'all want to believe. But when it comes down to the facts of the case, I don't understand how anybody with common sense can believe what Kelsey is saying. Like, I don't know.
No, they don't believe her. If anything, they're gonna believe that she took the money. Like, this is dumb. Like,
I think she took the money.
You could tell that's evident as hell.
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like people not paying attention to the text message that Kelsey said. Like, for me, that's very key.
And what about him?
But I do have a question, right? So that's very key for you to text somebody and say, hey, hurry up, Tory just shot Megan. Like, for me, I'm like, bitch, that I believe the text message. Like, that right there was fact. That goes along with what Megan said. But at the same time, it's like, if something frantic like that happened, were there any calls that were made? Because did you blow up? Like, what would make you just shoot a text message if you're trying to get help versus blowing somebody's line up and say, "Hey, I need you to come out here," like some shit that really happened.
Yeah,
I
But
think she
nobody
was
brings
scared.
that up.
oh yeah,
She
like
probably
she
was
was trying to
scared.
hide.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Right, she
yeah.
was trying to hide the fact that she was calling somebody on them. She didn't want to pick up the phone.
Got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
But she lied from jump. Armand, she already expressed why she lied, and it goes along with this whole protect black men shit that she was trying to do, which is what y'all are mad at her for not doing now. But either way, I feel like I don't think Kelsey shot Megan. I don't believe that at all. I think Tory shot Megan because Tory is the one that called apologizing from jail. Why the fuck is Tory calling apologizing to both Megan and apologizing to Kelsey? Why is
He
he
shot her.
apologizing to them if she's the one that shot Meg? That doesn't even make any sense.
He absolutely shot her. The only thing that I think people are trying to speculate is the series of events that led up to that. But either way it
Mm-hmm.
goes, I hope that the jury looks at the situation and they know that it's simple. He shot her, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where they think the gunshots come from. I don't care if somebody say, "Oh, I heard them, but I didn't see them." You know exactly where the
I
fuck
and
they
I
came from.
Who
That's
else
what
did
I'm
it?
wondering how the jury's gonna decide this because as much as I don't know, because Kelsey, you really fucked some stuff up for yourself trying to defend him. So basically, what I'm saying is she got on stand and she debunked some of the shit Megan said the day before, right? But what ruins your credibility as you go throughout is you not wanting to answer questions. And then the other thing they have to look at, because now it's going to be, did she take the money from Tory? Because maybe he did give her that to bribe. Or was Megan lying because she came in and she debunked a lot of the stuff that Megan said, and she blamed the fact that she just had a child not too long ago, so she's going through postpartum depression and she's planning a funeral. So I don't know what it's gonna be.
I honestly feel like when you really look at it, it's obvious that Kelsey probably, well, now we found out about the 1501 situation. Thank you for the
Mm-hmm.
super chat, Amber. And thank you, DeQuasia, for the super chat as well. I really think that's why. I think that's why. Because you
Mm.
pressure dude, okay, to go along with what they want you to do. You're probably still mad at Meg on some level, but mostly I think she's doing it because of that background shit. I think I realize she probably scared.
Mm.
Like, if you think
Hmm.
about how them, record executive niggas be, they be street
Yep.
niggas that just so happen to find the right artist. Like, that's really what it be. So to me, it just really does kind of sound like she took a bribe.
Yep.
She also admitted that he offered to pay for her lawyers.
And that
Like,
was
Well, she
so
said,
stupid.
oh, she admitted that he offered, but didn't know if he did.
yeah, I don't know. And
Hmm.
that's because she didn't want to perjure herself further, because that probably would be easy to do like enough research on, because now y'all see. And then I want y'all to understand, like, people keep saying Meg's lawyers. It's not Meg's lawyers, y'all. It's the district attorney's
Oh yeah,
office.
that's true. I know I was
Like,
saying Meg lawyers, but it's really state against Tory.
yeah, I feel like people don't understand. Like, Meg didn't even press charges against Tory,
She
for
doesn't
real.
have to though. But once she put it out there and say that he shot her, the state
Then
is going to take responsibility over all domestic violence cases. The only way a case might get dropped possibly is if that victim is not cooperating.
okay, so this thing, the question, thank you for super chat. She said, while Kelsey does have the constitutional right to invoke her Fifth Amendment, it does seem backwards that she would do so after giving her testimony. Here's the thing about her with this Fifth Amendment shit. I don't know, but something isn't right with why this is being allowed. You can't just say, I plead the fifth because you want to. It has to make sense that if you were saying something, it would incriminate yourself. And I feel like it can all go back to her taking a bribe. Like, that's what I feel like
Well,
she's trying to protect herself from.
I think that Tori's people, I think that she's putting herself out there as the mole when it comes to that, because she knows that they probably have talked her up so much to make her feel comfortable enough to cast the seed of doubt that she possibly could have shot Meg.
Hmm.
And I think that's what she's doing. And that's why she's, oh, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment. Right.
Hmm.
That's what you're doing, because his people have gotten comfortable enough to say, oh, well, it's just gonna be a toss if you invoke your fifth. So I think they're gonna play with the idea that she shot Tory without, she shot Meg without actually saying it, and she's like,
What
I
they
think she
said,
in too deep.
Dave said it, and she said it was ridiculous because the Tory Lane's lawyer actually, cross-examined her and was going at it with for a while, because essentially she won't say anything that actually incriminates herself for him, but she'll say that I don't know what happened to fuck up the case for Meg. And I just kind of feel like it's because she's probably being pressured by her dude, pressured by 1501, Tory's lawyers. There's probably some money involved, and probably I'm gonna tell you probably another reason why when she kept saying it wasn't said like that when it came to the money. I think it's because it may have been indirect, meaning that he didn't say he would give money to her. Maybe he said he'd give money to her dude, especially since her dude was there.
Her dude was where?
Her dude was at the meeting when she allegedly was bribed by Tory and asked, like
I never knew that.
Brought dude from 1501 with her to meet with Tory. So
I thought she brought her dude to the meeting in September
of
this year to meet with the prosecutors when they were questioning her.
Back when she went and met with Tory at the hotel room, I believe, I thought that he was there with her.
That's so weird because I didn't even know they were together at that time.
I could be wrong, y'all, but I really feel like
that's. And then if that's the case, then why you mad that she was fucking behind you on a nigga when it don't matter when you got a whole nother man? That's the thing. Too. But like, I don't even know if she was with that dude at the you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if anybody knows that they were actually together.
I don't know if anybody knows they were together, but that doesn't mean that they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
One of the other questions they asked was, this is what I from the people reporting on the case. Somebody wanted to know when Meg stopped fucking with Kelsey. And supposedly she said she stopped fucking with Kelsey when Kelsey met up with Tory at a hotel. Mm-hmm. So this must be the bribe situation that y'all talking about. But I didn't know if it was like hotel, like for a bribe situation, or hotel like you was sleeping with that man at a hotel. I had no idea. But yeah.
I heard she stopped fucking with her the day her ass got shot. I don't know if it was embarrassment because of what happened with Tory and them, but they said that Megan was in the hospital when she got shot. The only person she wanted with her was T. Ferris. Now, outside of the hospital, Kelsey had been waiting the whole time. She had been reaching out to Megan and everything, but Megan wasn't responding. So I'm not sure which one. Megan said that she stopped fucking with that girl after she met with Tory, but it sounded like she stopped fucking with her ass that night. And then Rock Nation reached out to her and said, because she said, they asked her something like, I got Megan's stuff or something, or I left my stuff somewhere. And I think they told her, look, it's not safe for you in California or something. And they flew her back to Texas or whatever. And she's like, what I'm going to do about work or something like that. So Megan been stopped fucking with her.
Yeah, I heard
it's real. She a lot of stories.
To see her.
Yeah, and that girl was sitting outside
right after it happened, but I thought it was because of shit on social media. Like, I thought that Meg stopped fucking with Kelsey because when everything came out on social media, Kelsey wasn't saying shit.
She wasn't. And Kelsey wasn't saying shit for a minute, but I'll never forget when Meg got on social media with some of her other friends and she was slick taunting that girl on social media. And that's what led to Kelsey having to come out. Kelsey's sister and her mama, from my understanding, also came out. And they was calling out Megan and stuff. So when all that stuff happened. So it's a lot of drama. It's a lot. I don't think nobody, I don't care whose side people on, what happened. I don't think nobody is innocent in any of this. But what's the fact is that girl did get shot. So everybody saying she did not get shot in her foot. They said, or in her, in her foot. The doctor confirmed that she was indeed shot.
Tory's lawyer said she got shot. So I don't know why we still arguing about that. But listen, somebody said they were texting about Kelsey's injuries by Tory, which this is the reason why I feel like Kelsey went to meet with Tory on the low and Meg found out about it, because that's the only thing that would make sense, because they were still talking to each other.
But see, I have to call flaw as fuck on that. I'm sorry. Like, I understand she got shot and stuff, but it's like, BIT, don't feel no way that I'm meeting up with anybody when you was meeting up with the person the whole goddamn time behind my back.
I disagree, Jami. Because whenever I disagree, that's not the same.
It's not the same because she got shot, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yes. He could have took her life.
Maybe he had some stuff she had to go get.
So it's like,
okay, it was not going together like that. And he shot at that girl 5 fucking times.
Right.
Like, no, bitch, you're not
different.
Meet with him. Because to me, I think off rip, the meeting was set up to offer Kelsey money to get her to not say what happened. That's what I think. And I think
You
once
could be right.
that's what was going on, she was like, fuck Kelsey. Because they were still talking to each other after the fact. They said
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear them talking after the fact. That part I did.
yeah, that's what the text message about her. She said, I got my neck and all of that is hurting. Should I get a scan? That was after the show.
But did she get a response? That's what I'm talking about. Kelsey probably was talking, but Megan wasn't talking to her. Megan wasn't talking to Megan.
She was in surgery. Like, maybe I don't want to talk when I'm getting bullets taken out my foot, especially because, like, I really do feel like at the end of the day, something happened that made Meg feel a way about Kelsey during that situation. And that's fine, because bitch, I'm the one that got shot. So if you're gonna, like, I'm sorry, I would absolutely not fuck with you no more if you met up with a nigga who I know probably was trying to get you to lie on what happened to me and you met up with him. Yeah, no, I'm not fucking with you no more. And I'm taunting you and stuff you online and all of that shit. Like, girl, that nigga shot.
Tory ain't nothing serious.
Well, there's
he
that.
wasn't nothing but a little. He wasn't nothing but somebody just to lay up with. So I think at the end of the day, like, Meg probably thinks that situation is minimal in comparison to the dude that could have potentially took her life, and you still gonna fuck with somebody that could have like killed her.
He did all of that shit. Kelsey said, you know, he beat you up and threatened to shoot you too.
I mean, that yeah, I'm with you on that part.
Right. It's like you want a vengeance so bad against your friend. Like, that is fucked up. I will say that. I would feel some type of way. But to me, the way that she is operating gives that she was like the best friend that was probably already hating a little bit from the side.
Who
That's
that?
what
Kelsey.
You think so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The way she's moving, I feel like it's more behind just you slept with Tory. And if Meg explained it right, Kelsey and Tory didn't have no relationship. There was somebody that you might have been texting. So, and she kept saying, I never backdoored Kelsey. So if Kelsey and Tory hadn't had sex, but Meg and Tory did, like, nah, you had other energy behind that.
I thought they did have sex after she said she had got COVID or something and had went to Houston. I could have sworn something happened between Kelsey and Tory.
It had to be after Meg.
Or maybe that's when they met up.
Never backdoored her.
Meg said she didn't want nobody to know that she was fucking with him, and Kelsey had a little crush on him. So even if it happened before or after, Kelsey only met Tory through Meg. That's how they met. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like something might have been going on between Tory and Meg, but Meg didn't want to publicly say anything. And he starts flirting with girl, like she said in her testimony, Tory just being Tory flirting. So I think that maybe Tory kind of tried to fuck with Kelsey because he's an asshole. And because Meg didn't want to go public with the relationship, because if I can recall, Meg took like a whole little picture when they was at that Rock Nation brunch with her ass on his penis.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, she
and
did.
Like, so you went and fucked dude after that and she backdoored you? Like,
and they had been going live together that summer too. I remember they was
at
her pool. It was just her and Tory. So I mean, people was already speculating before that happened, but the reason why they said it, this whole situation escalated was because Meg was feeling the way that Tory was playing in her face by trying to flirt with Kylie. So they get in the car. And Tory is mad at, and it sounds literally like something a little ass nigga would do. Tory feeling some type of way about Meg feeling away. Tragic.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think this at all, but okay.
And Tory in the car while Kelsey is there decides to expose that him and Meg had been fucking with each other. So he was like, you want to go ahead and tell your friend what's been going on. Literally, that sounds so on board, like on brand for somebody who will.
But why would you also keep that from your friend if she got a crush on him? Like,
I wouldn't tell nobody I slept with Tory Lanez either.
But I'm saying, not like that's your best friend though. Like,
is it though, Jamie? Because I think it's some energy behind it. Like,
it's always some energy. It's always some energy now.
Right,
I felt like they weren't real friends, and I don't think that's just on a Kelsey end. I think that's on both of their end.
Right, and that's why she didn't tell her. I think that's why she didn't tell her. I think it was just like, what did you say?
She didn't trust her. That's why she didn't tell her. I don't think Meg wanted anybody.
That's the most logical.
And she didn't trust her. fuck with you. You my girl. We do everything together, but you moving funny style a little bit. So I'm not really gonna
Yep.
tell you what happened. I'm gonna keep that shit to myself.
And I do believe, with that being said, whether if Megan would not have gotten shot that night and they still had that argument, I still believe it would play out the same way, where Megan would not be fucking with Kelsey at
I
the end
Right.
of
agree.
the day.
Yeah, because
100%. I agree.
it's given I was only hanging around you so I could get on. And as soon as I got on and got my own, foot in this, like I eat 1501 nigga with a baby. Yeah, I don't need to fuck with you no more. I don't need to pretend to be your homegirl and your little, your backseat
I
driver and
don't
all.
see how y'all see that. I don't see that with Kelsey. I don't know
I
why. Like
do.
I don't see her as that. I don't
You
know. I
want to
just
know
don't see
why I
that.
do? The one, like, part of me, when I started hearing more details about the case and what happened, I was like, I kind of see where Kelsey coming from. But the moment for me that told me she was fake as fuck and was low key hating was when she came out with that fucking diss track. Bitch, you ain't
And
never heard no music from you, and you gonna come up with a diss
Girl, it
track
was a horrible diss track. It was
at
I have to
that?
say.
it
That
was
was
bad.
cloud chasing. That was, yeah, nah,
I
that was
think
whack
it
as
was
fuck.
to get under her skin. I think that she was upset. I think that I already told y'all Megan was taunting her ass online. And then her fans was going over there dragging the fuck out of Kelsey because people started thinking that Kelsey was the one that shot her. So that's why Kelsey did the song. So I felt like when she responded or did what she did, I mean, I didn't think that was like, oh, you a fake ass bitch. I just saw it as, damn, she mad as fuck. So she went and created this. And that actually wasn't even a good look for you.
True. I don't know, but at the end of the day, regardless to what went on beforehand, I don't like the narrative of slut shaming Megan in order to make it seem as if she deserved to get shot. And that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing a lot of. She brought this on herself. She should have never fucked with that girl, man. And I'm just like, y'all are the most ignorant, heartless, disgusting fucking people on the face of the earth. If you think that sleeping with somebody means that somebody should get shot. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I think that's a stretch for three single people.
Mm.
Hmm.
Three single people. Just gonna
That's
say.
that part right there. That's the part right there.
Because honestly, why y'all not mad at Tory for fucking two friends? Why is
Mm.
that?
Or
Why is
mad at
that?
him for exposing that shit. Cause
And
he in his feelings.
hello, bitch made as the fuck. And he been bitch made. Subsequent and prior, he's done bitch made shit. He is obviously Napoleon complex, short nigga, insecure, and whenever you make him feel the way, he acts an ass. All Meg had to do was say that nigga career was trash, and we knew he was gonna jump out the car on some bang bang.
Body slamming
That
females,
shit.
his little ass.
I think that's why he shot Meg, because she said that shit to him. Like, as soon as Meg said that she said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's why he did it right there. Because August Alsina passing him in the hallway and not shaking his hand made him jump him. Like,
I
Whew.
forgot about that. I forgot about that.
That boy has anger issues.
bruh.
Hey,
And I
I'm
think he got
angry
a
inside.
problem.
He definitely shot her. I'm sorry. I still believe that. Like at the end, and
Hey,
that's the crazy part. I do feel bad for Megan on this part, right? And everybody keeps talking, and us included, about everything else that honestly don't even fucking matter.
It
not
doesn't.
at
What
all.
matters is that that nigga shot her. Like at the end of the day, like we over
Hello.
here talking about all these extra. It makes me think about Love and Mary Huntsville, all the outside shit, and they don't even fucking matter. Like, girl, the lady she got shot,
I
and
don't
his
like
ass did it. I really believe Tory did it.
yes, I don't like the coverage at all because I'm like this whole y'all trying to make a
Her
thing about
nigga embarrassed by her. First
Why
of all,
couldn't we get this shit on TV like we got Johnny Depp?
ooh,
you said what, Niecy?
why we
I
couldn't
said,
get it
why
on.
couldn't we get it? Yeah,
Oh
why couldn't
yes,
we
like
get this
Johnny
shit on
Depp.
TV like we got
That
Johnny
would have been
Depp?
I
juicy.
mean, they had Gunna and them all on the fucking TV today. I was like, really? Could nobody get a camera in the
Oh,
touring?
really?
You got to get the drawings and shit, even though the drawings be funny. But honestly, it's like I actually read like some of that shit. But the way they talk about the way Kelsey like is acting in this situation,
Hmm.
also I feel like the way Meg has had to deal with being like the villain in her own shooting this entire time, like fucking Tory behind Kelsey's back is like the least of this to me. Like I don't even care.
It
She's
is the
20 something
least.
years old, going through a lot. You a star, you popping, everybody in your family dead. You out here trying to be close to people, trying to find friends, don't know who you can trust. Like she a young woman.
Hmm.
I'm not expecting her to be perfect or handle every situation.
Mm.
Well, on that note,
Damn.
it wrapped. I mean,
Tory
Bondy,
climbed into the cords and
he
messed up her Wi-Fi.
did. He probably cried into the grave, wrapped up
He
that
climbed through
Wi-Fi.
her walls and messed up them damn cords. He messed up that Wi-Fi.
But yeah, it's a crazy situation. I hate that. But we
Yeah.
may get some answers this Friday or early next week. We'll see.
Hopefully it's on Friday. I want a Christmas
Okay.
gift. Send somebody to jail.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry about that. But yeah, I was just saying, like, I want Kelsey to go to jail after this because I feel like you're
Yep.
impeding justice. And I feel like if Tory gets off on this, Tory is going to feel emboldened to continue to act in this manner. And
He is.
I think you'll have more cases of him getting into physical altercations with men and women alike because this will only make him feel like, I can get away with it. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I feel about, some of this other shit because the more I read the transcripts of what's actually going on in court, the more I feel like I get a clear picture of what's happening in court. And it's just like a bad episode of SVU, y'all. It's a real bad episode where, somebody with money then, paid some people off and not just the one on the stand. Because I really need to understand this whole pleading the fifth and immunity situation that don't make no motherfucking sense.
Mm.
I want
So
Kelsey
go ahead. Change her name.
to go to
Change her
jail.
name after this case.
Mm.
Why do you like Kelsey?
Who?
Who?
Jamie,
Who?
Jamie was like, I
I
don't
didn't
think
say. I didn't say I don't. I like her.
her like that.
Like is a
But yeah,
strong
I just
word.
don't. I just don't see her like that. I
But
just don't.
how do you like? Do you follow
I
her?
Yeah, I do follow her. I do follow her. I never really see her as a person like that do the most, always trying to be out. Look at me, see me creating drama because she's affiliated with Megan. To me, those would be the people that's clout chasing on social media. I feel like she always played the back so much people had to be like, who is that chick? Who is that? Oh, that's Kelsey. That's Megan's best friend. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So I feel like when you attach to somebody and you trying to clout chase, you trying to take some of their moment by trying to insert yourself into the atmosphere with like, look at me, see, yeah, I'm connected to this person. Like, honestly, like Saucy Santana, a lot of people knew him, but a lot of people didn't know him until he attached himself to City Girls, right? So I feel
Mhm.
like, I mean, it worked for him because we like Saucy, you know what I'm saying? His music is good, but I didn't see that from Kelsey at all. So I mean, for me, I can't say that, oh yeah, I really like Kelsey, but then I ain't got no issue with her either to just put that on her because, oh, I like Megan and I feel like Megan is such a victim in this situation and da 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 da. Like, nah, I'm not gonna just excuse all of that and be like, oh no, yeah, Kelsey's problematic and that. Like, if I don't see it, I don't see it. So
I
for
mean,
me, I don't.
during this case, but outside
Now,
of
in
that,
this case, she has definitely been foolish and she's about to
Yeah.
set herself up to go to jail
yeah,
on some humbug, which don't make no damn sense.
it really
And
does.
she gonna get, I hate it for her because everybody's gonna continue to get dragged for the rest of their life, especially if Tory gets off. I feel bad for Megan because of how the people really finna come in her comments if he gets off for a mistrial or anything. And then they probably already eat Kelsey up because your moves was just dumb as hell. And it don't even make no damn sense. Like, it's just stupid. It's
I think he is
dumb.
gonna get off, unfortunately. I think he is. I think
You
the
think
only person
so?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do. I think the only person that'll be charged with anything in this case will be
He's a
Kelsey, and it'll probably be for perjury, and
Okay,
that's
well
it.
then, I mean, they already trying to say she shot. She got the gun residue. And then she didn't want to incriminate herself, which is why she pled the damn fifth. So you kind of giving the jury reasons to believe you had a lot to do with this. So I don't know, but she gonna get her. Let me be quiet. They're gonna be trying to jump that lady. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I was about to say something about what you were saying about Kelsey about her
Yeah.
not being a clout chaser because she be in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of feel like that's the stupid clout chasers. The smart clout chasers don't ever want to be caught looking like a clout chaser. They more so
Mm-hmm.
about the connections. They are play the background people because they want to know who the people who are actually in charge are. Because usually the people in front are not in charge. It's somebody sitting in the back, real cool, laid back, that's in charge.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
now that we see that she's with this guy that's a part of Carl's record label and all of that type of shit. For me, it's giving not cloud chasing, but riding coattails is what
Mm-hmm.
giving riding being your friend to getting closer to access. Now there are some people that were saying that, oh, Kelsey introduced Meg to people, but I'm I'm just trying to understand how, when they met freshman year in college, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
what exactly was Kelsey bringing to the table before Meg even blew up? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it felt like it may have started out as a real friendship, but I also feel like girls be jealous, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, just in general, a girl can be somebody that's jealous. Pete Tisha has no real reason to be jealous of Mel, but is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have a reason to be, but you are. So I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like now knowing who she's with,
Mm-hmm.
she's handled herself during this case. I thought it was gonna be something different too. I had nothing bad to say about Kelsey except for that
Mm-hmm.
until we came to this time and she's sitting up there on that stand lying her ass off. Like, and then
Embarrassing herself. Like,
Jamie.
girl.
Embarrassing
Me and
about
Necey been
Jamie.
on
That's
the same
beautiful.
way, just embarrassing. Like I was so outdone. I said, "This bitch here, girl, you making it bad for yourself." But I don't know. I'm like, why? What allegiance? Like, what is the thing that you need to throw the case for 1501? What is
Well,
that
she
about?
said to Meg, when her and Meg fell out, she said, "What am I supposed to do for money? It's
mm,
the money. It's
It's the
the
money.
number one, the vengeance, and then number two, the money. It's the money.
she
You
fucking
need some way to survive."
executive.
Mm.
Really, like, girls do lesser shit for dick. Like,
They do.
and dick connected to money.
Mm.
That's the come up right there. That was the ultimate goal. To me, some nigga
Yeah.
that you're pregnant by who's in the industry who has money. That's why you hang around Meg and just be her assistant and do whatever she needs you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You, in the meantime, you scoping who you gonna have a baby by. I,
Mm.
one way or another, I feel like most girls, like, you would be stupid not to be moving in them circles and not trying to see who you can, connect yourself to for the come up. You'd be stupid not to be, peeping,
Mm.
so to speak. Especially if them niggas hollering. And I know them niggas hollering because she fit the look or whatever. She, BBL, Instagram model looking chick.
I think it was. I mean, and y'all could be right, but I also think that it could have been. I don't know. I'm just thinking about when they fell out. You know how when you fall out with somebody, people become good mutual friends over like y'all got a common enemy.
Yeah.
And since she
Mhm.
wasn't making no money, she could have like went back to 1501 and da, 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 and they're like, oh, we got you. We gonna look out for you. And they already felt the way because they was betrayed by Mel. I mean, I'm sorry, by Meg when she decided to go off to the Rock Nation, which I do kind of think was a big. That's another conversation. We'll talk about it another time. Maybe that has something to do with it. So that could be a point.
Somebody said, well, she is married and have a baby with a person that's part of 1501. Shoot, look at earlier in the show, Carisha arguing for no reason online. Women continuing to take mistreatment from Diddy. Oh yeah, she's looking earlier. But yeah, that's how I be, child.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of feel like it's always these niggas. I don't care what nobody say. Was Kelsey Meg's stripper friend? I don't know. I didn't know she was a stripper.
I didn't know she was. I
That's
never heard
new.
that.
They went
I
to
never.
freshman year of college, and that's when they became cool. And she said they did everything together. That's what Meg said.
Oh.
But Meg said they never shared a dude before Tory. Which honestly I believe because girls be doing that shit. So if they did that shit, she probably would be like, I mean, yeah, a couple of times before, but even more so if Meg had fucked another one of Kelsey's boyfriends and she knew about it, that would have been used. Okay, so why is it when I fucked the other dude you wasn't this mad? Like,
No, right.
I fucked the other dude, why you mad now? You know what I'm saying?
All
So
right.
I don't feel like it was like that. This is one of them times I really truly believe that Tory Lanez, being the little manipulative asshole that he is, I think he took advantage of Meg in a vulnerable moment.
He
And
did.
But you know what's? I'm just trying to see. I don't know. I hate that they're going through this trial and we still really don't know. To me, I feel like what the hell happened and who the hell shot. Like I feel like we still don't really know that. And I'm like,
niggas
We
lying.
know who shot
does
though.
he
We know who
really?
shot.
Right? Yeah, we know who we believe shot. But now they trying to make it seem like, oh, girl, Kelsey shot. So I'm just like, it's for me. What I'm getting at is his confidence to take this shit all the way to trial instead of just accepting a lesser plea earlier on and being like, nah, I ain't do that, and then let's move on. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the I don't know.
It's
Why
the
not
fact that
say
he
your
got
nigga
It's
guilty.
the fight to
pay
not
for
be
lawyers'
canceled. I don't
fees?
know.
Why not say your nigga paid for your lawyer's fees? Why say I don't know? That's another thing. Like, no, girl, she don't
If
even know how to.
Kelsey
Child.
Can y'all hear me too?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. If Kelsey wasn't on the case, he probably would have took a lesser plea, like you said, or earlier plea, like you said, Jamie. But because they have Kelsey, they like, yeah, we gonna use her. She the golden goose.
Honestly, I
And
think
girl, the goose is not golden. Like it's not
Nah,
goldening right now.
who's the lawyer? I think the lawyer is the one that introduced Hughes and Kelsey. And I think that the record label and everybody probably had conversations on how they could protect her and still get her to create the reasonable doubt so that they would be able to get him off. That's what it looked like to me.
Girl, it definitely giving scheme. If he did get the attorney, whatever it was, because they made sure like that she got that deal. Get the deal to make sure you cleared, but when you get on the stand, throw the case. Bitch, girl, you're going to jail.
This is what I think. He didn't think he could
she
go
going
to
to jail.
court. I really don't. That stupid ass. And then bringing his son, y'all, bringing his 5-year-old son to court to sit in the corner and listen to the testimony.
That should not be allowed.
It usually isn't the late, and I ain't gonna say it on camera, but they said, he was paying people off and not just her. Because I'm really it's a lot of shit that's going on in this courtroom that seems out of the norm. I'll just say it like that. Like having a 5-year-old.
Nah, he bringing his son there to try to help. Because
No,
in
he's
your
good.
mind, you would think,
The judge normally doesn't allow that. The judge normally
the
says
judge.
10 years, anybody under 10 years old cannot sit in like during the whole deliberate, during the testimony part. That's what the lady said when she was like, usually it's supposed to be nobody under 10 and under. So I'm wondering how long they gonna let Tory Lanez's son stay here. And then later she referenced how he was still there as they were going through the testimony.
That should never. That baby should
The audacity.
never.
His daddy showing him it's okay to abuse women.
Woo.
Bruh, it's all bad. Like, it's all bad to me.
If Tory get off on this, it's gonna be somebody else in 2 months.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And they gonna dog Meg out. You already see Joe Budden already got their shit lined up in the notes. They just ready to copy and paste. Copy and paste.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Academics fucking ass putting shit out on his platform. He's talking to Tory. Him and Tory are friends. I've seen it before where he's been able to reach out to Tory and get information. So I think Tory feeds academics misinformation and he puts that shit out online.
No, BIT. I think Tory be sending him misinformation and information because that man said on Monday, academics, but academics said that woman had an immunity deal and then go in there the next day and find out that girl got an immunity. And then he tried to say it like it was just like, I thought of this on my own.
Like,
I really think she has an immunity. Nah, NIGGA. Tory bought that attorney.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
Yep. He kept acting like, oh, I just got a feeling, or oh, I bet you. And then literally, he did it on the live. On the live, he would say, I bet this. And then literally in the next few clips, he'd be like, listen to this. Told you. Like, boom, 2 seconds later. It was odd.
Thank you for the super chat.
It's crazy.
Didn't Tory profess his love to Meg in a few songs on his album? I feel so bad for Meg. She needs to drop Party too. She does. And it's because
I don't.
Whenever she said that my partner's embarrassed of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, and you still with this nigga?
That's what I was thinking. What?
I'm gonna tell you why. They're in the industry. He's not embarrassed because she fucked dude. He's embarrassed because the whole world, the niggas in the industry. He's in the industry and they're clowning him. And so he can't even defend her because, like she said, it's a boys' club. So I think when, if Party were to actually defend his woman like he would want to, it would fuck up his career in some way. You know what I'm saying? Because like they said, it's a boys' club. And I think that's real. We've seen that. Like the way fucking LeBron James had to let y'all know that he supported Tory Lanez by continuing to play the music, even after people was like, dude, what the fuck? And he came up the next day playing the shit and rapping the lyrics like he didn't care. It's very much giving the behind the scenes, we all protect each other thing.
Is it bad that I feel like, but what the hell that got to do with you being embarrassed? Like, that means your ego hurt.
Yeah.
And you got to navigate the industry, but don't be trying to be embarrassed to me because, first of all, I didn't put this shit out there. They did. First, if it was up to me, you would never know about it. And how is it that I'm a victim in a situation and my sex life is the highlight of the fucking conversation, not the fact that I got shot, and you have the audacity to say that you embarrassed or what the hell I got going on?
Watch.
Always.
No, I'm embarrassed to have a nigga that's embarrassed. Period. Like you ain't gotta speak on it. You know, you don't have to address it. You can lie low and do your job. But I feel the part of him wanting to defend her, but also like I can't defend because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at that same time, it's like stand on something. Like fuck them niggas. Like what?
We need to add more vulnerability to the case. See, that's
a possibility.
It is, but I kind of feel
I
like
can see that too.
is it necessary though? Like to say that he's embarrassed if he's really not? Like I feel like he is embarrassed. You could tell based on the way they've broken up and gotten back together over this past year. If you've seen sometimes there was
Yeah,
one
they have broken
she
up and got back
deleted him
together.
off her Instagram
I
and then
thought it
they
was just
popped up for his
once.
birthday or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
it
It was like
once.
right around the time of his birthday. But
I didn't know that.
Hello,
I didn't know
you
that.
there?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, we here. Jami.
What? What I did?
We keep saying the same thing at the same time.
Oh, yeah, we here. But yeah, that's crazy. Like I said that nigga where? I said, oh nah, he gotta go, man. 2023. They gotta go. Leave all that negativity behind closed doors. In 2022, in the 2022 doors. But interesting case. Hopefully we get it resolved before the week's out.
Hated it.
Did we lose Bondy again?
I don't know. Did we lose Bondy? Bondy? We lost Bondy. I heard her say something and then it went out. But that's crazy. I feel bad for her because I just feel like she can't catch a break. It's always some shit. You know, as soon as you
we
get
got
in.
4 more days of trial. Shit, I thought we was gonna find out by Friday.
Oh, what's today? Really? I thought it was gonna be wrapped up by tomorrow or Monday, but I guess not. I guess they'll go into the right before Christmas. So Tory will learn his fate at that particular time. And
it's getting cold for Christmas.
That's crazy.
Yeah, okay. What do the people?
Mikey said, "Can someone answer why so many women are going so hard on men?" I don't know. I think that a lot of people assume that women are going to always back other women, and that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? They just not. I think people look at the situation from their own perspective, and they have a right to choose whoever they want to support, whether it makes sense to us or not. I don't know why so many of them are, but I mean, a lot of people don't believe what she's saying. I don't know why.
I do want to pray for Meg though, just because if she win the case, they coming for her. If she lose the case, they coming for her. And I heard one of the court readings where it said that she said if she knew everything that was going to happen after he shot her in the foot, she wished that he would have just shot her and unalived
and killed. Right.
And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. And a person who academics was talking to, they was like, it's theatrical, the dramatic.
I heard that too. I was like, that's not theatrical. That's real talk. Like,
I think
did you not see how she's been ridiculed online?
And what her life has been like on top of that. So I really just pray.
And don't even got her mama to run to talk to cry to get advice from.
No, nobody. So I don't know. I feel like we're not gonna get her for a while after this trial.
Y'all, the internet acting an ass again. They really don't fuck with me around these parts.
It's all good. We have nothing else.
I'm about to say we at the end anyway, but all in all, I think we all feel like Tory shot Meg, and we're praying for her because this has all been tough. This has all been a lot to even like watch somebody go through.
And then it happens again. The Tory neck is definitely tap dancing, okay?
I cannot.
Tory is like, I'm on y'all somebody. That's what's
is in the wires, in the fucking wires, okay?
Do you hear me?
All right. Well, I guess Bonnie put this on the screen. I don't know if she want to close it out or if she want us to close it out.
We can close that thing out.